You guys are going to spend the night with Anna at her house as her guests. Um, you're still echoing a lot, Quentin. Thanks. Ah. So, but and as you guys are you guys are off in the rooms. The monkey is settling down in Anna's lap and whatnot. The Anna takes what's your character's name now? Arme. I'm forgetting. I'm sorry.
Galdar.
Oh, that's right, Gildar. Yeah. So she kicks Gildar aside and says, "You have the look about you of one who was once inflicted." She says.
Yes, that is true. In my land,
Hello.
I
Sorry.
was afflicted at one time, and some bad things happened.
Did you go through a complete change, or were you cured right away and just carry the mark on you?
I don't know how long the affliction held sway, but it was a long time.
She nods. I take it you didn't have a support group of others like you then, since you were no longer one of...
I was left alone for the most part, and some priests found me, and some things happened, and one day they cured me, so I decided to join their temple and try to atone for all the lives that I had taken.
She nods a bit. Well, sorry. Sorry. She nods a bit. Says, "Well, we are not monsters here. We do not go out and hunt people. So I hope that you will not look down upon us."
It amazes me how you were able to keep the monster under control.
Well, in these lands, that's such a thing as... Well, not simple, shall we say, but it's easier to unleash, since we are the only people in this particular area. She kind of gestures around. There's plenty of hunting in the woods, and we no longer have to fear from Strahd's minions. But there did used to be others. She thinks for a moment and says, those who made me, for example, who were not so pleasant. They were bad people. And, well, mostly they're gone now. We made sure of that. And we keep to ourselves. We don't harm the travelers along the roads.
If I might ask, if we can prove ourselves to be of good standing, of good hearts, would you allow us to continue to rest here sometimes, and perhaps let us bring silver inside to perhaps arm ourselves for future fights against people outside of this village?
She basically levels you with the gaze, and she's silent for several minutes as she thinks things over very carefully. Once we see that you can be trusted, I might see my way into allowing that, but I cannot allow my people to be harmed in any way. You must understand.
Oh, of course.
If you break our trust, well, she kind of lets it hang in the air, but she kind of levels you with an intense gaze.
I understand completely, and know that we wouldn't stand a chance against the village of werewolves.
Yeah. Yes. those who are less than friendly towards outsiders tend to stay inside the walls under the supervision of those who are more in control of themselves. I see that though, of course, with you, since you said you were left all alone, that is why you only see, well, would see before the kind as monsters instead of as people with their own potentials. The change, the awakening, can be rather startling, and it often divides a person in two. I take it that's what happened with you.
Yes. I don't know how many times I've tried to just rid the world of myself.
Well, I hope you no longer think that way. You seem like a capable individual.
Lately, it's just been trying to atone and fighting the monsters that I can fight.
Well, there's still plenty of monsters up at that monastery, I imagine. But for the moment, we leave the prince alone and he leaves us alone. Though how he is getting food and supplies, I do not know, since the only road up there is, well, back here in our town. Basically, if you look at the map, the abbey's actually well up a hill. There's a bunch of little roads kind of leading up to it. Well, it's actually just one winding road here leading up to it.
Okay.
But it's like, it's kind of high above. Let's see if I actually have it good. So, why have you come to Barovia?
I have no clue. I woke one morning in a forge and had no idea how I got there, and just been trying to make my way through and survive until I ran across this group.
And do they seem trustworthy to you?
So far, for the most part, their bard friend here might be a little off at times.
The one with the monkey?
Yes.
Well then. It's good to know that. So, do you wish to sleep at all, or are you staying on guard for now?
I'll stay up probably an hour or two before I go to sleep, and if that'd be about it, I'll ask her if she has any idea if perhaps the guy up there is some kind of necromancer or any magic user.
She thinks. Says, well, the prince is most definitely a magic user of some kind, considering what he did with those people to make them into monsters, and not the kind that you once saw my kind as, but other monsters entirely, as if many creatures pooled into one. He has them up there on the abbey. I'm sure that there's still more, though many died years ago when they assaulted this town.
And the abbey's outside the city walls. Is that right?
Well, actually, it's above us. The city walls sort of include to the base of the hill that it's on. The abbey itself is 400 feet above. It's 400 feet above the town.
Okay. I think that'll be good enough for now. I'll go on to sleep.
All right. All right. So, anyone else staying up, sleeping? Everyone getting a full night's sleep here?
Green stays up a little bit, primarily because Anna got herself completely well, not completely drunk, but a little intoxicated. So he kind of just helps her sober up a little bit before he goes to bed. Make sure she doesn't do anything that'll cause upset.
Tie her to the floor? That's a great idea.
No, that's not do that. As funny as it would be, no.
It's still a good idea.
No. No, Green stays up for about a couple hours, so just gives her some water, helps her sober up, and then when she goes to bed, he goes to bed.
Poor Anna.
She brings this on herself.
Well, she did just kind of get pulled back from death.
Again, she brought that on herself.
That's actually
true. Deserves a drink.
If Anna were here, I'd tell her the same thing. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've told her that. It's the reason why she's not allowed to throw rocks anymore.
She's still going to throw rocks.
I think she learned her lesson this time.
Maybe not.
We can only hope.
Regardless, Green heads off to bed.
Alright. So nothing bad happens to any of you over the night. Not even any weird dreams. Just kind of pleasant, safe surroundings. You do occasionally
bad dreams on my own.
That's true. But I mean, no extra bad dreams, no spinning puppets or anything like that.
Strahd. The messages from Strahd being like, hey, why are you hanging out with the werewolves?
Well, you do occasionally hear a howl in the middle of the night. But as it starts to dawn again, even, bits of light breaking through the mists above you, the smell of cooked meat comes filtering in from the little kitchen area of the hut. Cabin. Not hut, cabin.
The humble abode of which we are staying in currently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Green wakes up kind of around about dawn.
I feel like Kurt is an early riser at this point, so he would have been up pretty early, just kind of hanging out, smoking his pipe.
And probably, if he's hanging out, she would have...
I probably got up and helped whoever's cooking.
Yeah, that would be Anna. These people are, even though she's in charge of them as their leader, they're kind of the very self-sufficient type, very communal living. People take care of themselves and each other. They don't just because somebody's rich and important doesn't mean they have a servant. Just because somebody's important and in charge doesn't mean they have a servant to do stuff for them. They do it themselves. So
she don't need no man.
Well, yeah, her husband's been dead for a couple of years. So she's making a morning meal and clearly making enough to feed all of you as her guests.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, she probably would have told you to go outside if you're smoking. At which point you would have probably seen an occasional very burly looking person, man or woman, it's hard to tell, carrying lumber, and another one probably carrying a deer over their back. No, I cannot, Quentin. You're still muted.
Kurt would gesture to them in a friendly manner. Basically going, good morning or whatnot.
Mm.
They kind of nod to him, but they don't actually say anything as they walk by.
That's fine.
Green would have probably woken up by this time, and if he saw that Anna was getting breakfast ready, he'd go down and he'd, just help set the table for breakfast and that kind of thing.
And as you can see, unlike the last two leader type individuals, well, one of them was already dead anyway, but the last two leader type people that you saw, lived very finely and had fine tables. She basically just has things made out of wood for the most part. There is some metal objects, there's she has a nice metal axe, and she has some things like coat of arms and whatnot. But for the most part, it's all simple. Just silverware made out of metal, just iron.
Yeah, the cutlery is made out of iron of some variety, that kind of stuff. Hardy but practical.
Yeah, and the other stuff is making like hides and furs and all that. But it's all stuff that can be made by an individual if need be. Not like fancy stuff. It's
Okay, cool.
so she seems pleased that you guys are pulling some of your weight, because she'd say something about guests and maybe some chores around the Krezek and whatnot if you guys wish to help out.
Kurt's all for it.
Yeah, if you do require assistance around the village, then I would be perfectly happy to help. I'm sure my compatriots would as well. After all, we are dealing with your little monster problem at some point. There are other chores we could probably help you out with.
Well, I'm sure that they always could use a hand in the fields.
I've done
Kurt will do his best.
I've done some field work in my time. I know.
Yeah. The fields in question are not on this map simply because they are something I added in instead of already existing. So, but basically, there is a secondary fence line around here, and where it's basically back here is these vast potato fields.
Oh, okay. Green
But she basically
asks. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
She basically says it's off to the north, past the roads. There's a kind of a newer gate back there that leads you to the fields that are also gated, but have a new gates. A new fence line around them, mostly to keep animals out.
Well,
testing?
after we have eaten.
Testing?
Hello.
Testing.
Hello. Yes.
What's up?
God dang.
So breakfast is a kind of a mix of kind of a potato mash and venison stew.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, and of course there's some kind of little bit of vodka to go with it, because it's like mother's milk around here now.
Little morning
This
tipple.
is the fanciest meal Kurt's had in a long time.
But seriously, says, now that you've rested, what are your plans for the day?
Well,
Some creature slaying, I guess.
Oh, yes, that, and also helping out around town a little bit if work needs doing. If we're going to be delving into the monastery, it is likely that we would need to make some preparations. Are there any
potions?
Healing potions or preparations? Do you have an alchemist in town who could create such things?
I will.
Or an apothecary?
We do not have an official apothecary, no, but I imagine somebody still has some skills in that regard. I will find out, see who might still have some skills and materials.
If materials would need to be gathered from the surrounding woodlands, I would have no problem in going out and collecting those.
Nope.
I would suggest that you go out as a group instead of as an individual, though. Out in the woods can be dangerous, especially for those such as yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, I would not go alone. I would take maybe one or two of the others with me.
Smart enough to realize that.
Well, thank you very much for the meal. Another question: is there a blacksmith in town who could perhaps service to my weapons? They have seen quite a lot of use recently.
Yes, there is a communal blacksmithy. Do you know how to take care of them at all yourself, or do you need assistance?
I know basic maintenance. I can
look at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Our dwarf friend is a pretty capable smith, from what I hear.
Well, if you could do that, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Yes. She basically lets you know that the smithy is towards the south end of town, which is close to where she's living right now. It's pretty much across the street from you. Well, it's not really a smithy per se. It's not like doing commerce. It's more of a blacksmith area where people can go and do things for themselves.
It's basically just got all the tools needed for someone to do some blacksmithing work, but no actual blacksmith.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a forge.
Yes, forge is the correct. Forge would be the correct word. Yes.
Well, when you find out who has the alchemical skill, we can check in with them for some potential alchemical. Oh, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Assistance? Brewing?
Thank you. Yes, but in the meantime, RMA, what was your character's name again?
Galdar.
Yes, Galdar. If you could perhaps perform some maintenance on my sword, that would be very much appreciated.
I'll head over and see if the forge needs firing up.
Let me go and get that for you. He gets up, goes upstairs, grabs his sword in its sheath, and goes downstairs and passes it to you.
Okay.
Yep. And while you do that, I'll probably go and provide assistance in the fields. Then.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Green.
So, Heather, did you hear any of this, or do I need to recap for you?
All I heard. Hold on, I gotta switch my audio around.
Probably should.
Alright, so Tom and Kurt are heading off to the fields?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Buddy will join them.
The more the merrier.
Alright. So, you basically head towards the north, going through the more wooded of the pass, because you find that since there are two roads heading north, one of them seems to be heading up the hill towards the monastery, but the other is just heading through the tree-lined streets. And as you get towards the north, you discover a large pond, a pool, I should say. And even under gray skies, this pool at the north end of the village shimmers and sparkles. Near its shores sits an old gazebo on the verge of collapse. A wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man is paint-chipped and faded, stands in the gazebo with arms outstretched, as though waiting to be embraced. And you see that there's a newer-looking road kind of winding its way around the gazebo and towards this newish-looking gate to the north. Alongside there, which seems to be leading towards the fields. You hear lots of people talking back there. Lots of work.
Yeah. Well, it is quaint. I mean, nothing's going to be done. I'm going to continue on my way towards the field.
Yeah, no, I'd see no reason to disturb them if they're in the middle of something. There are other things we can do.
All right. So you pass by the pool with clear, sparkling water, and pass by the ancient faded gazebo, and head out to the north gate, and out into the fields where a lot of people seem to be working, but there's still lots of room for more as they bundle up potatoes, weed out various weeds, and dig new trenches to plant new potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Green looks around for the person's kind of overseeing the whole operation, or is it just kind of a group effort?
It's mostly a group effort, but as you guys approach, one of the burly individuals, looks like a man because they have a beard and everything, stands up from their work, kind of rubs a hand along their forehead to wipe away some sweat, and grins at you broadly. You're the guests, the Annas that are staying with Anna, huh?
Yes, indeed. We were told that you might be welcoming some assistance in the fields for today.
Oh, of course. It's always good to have assistance.
After you.
And he heads over to a small wheelbarrow, pulls out a few tools. Looks like a trowel sort of thing, or one of those mini hand rake sort of deals. Another little tools like spade, that sort of thing. Here, we could use some help tilling some of the soil over here to plant some more potatoes in.
Oh, of course. Takes off his cloak and whatnot, and just kind of puts it over a fence or something like that, and just goes up, takes one of the tools, and just gets to work.
The rest of you do the same? All right. So you guys are busy helping out in the fields. Men and women, even some children are out here working, but they don't seem to be upset about the work. They're kind of like laughing, chatting with each other. They don't seem unfriendly towards you either, which is you're outsiders. You're not one of them, but they're still welcoming smiles towards you, but not in the "oh, I've been brainwashed by a cult" sort of way. More like in the
It's a genuine smile.
Genuinely happy.
Yeah, Green makes pleasant conversation with them. Just ask them about what life is like in the village, that kind of thing.
Yeah, some of them tell you about how hard life was before 3 years ago when everything started happening. That first their old burgomaster died in an attack from the prince's minions up above in the abbey. Although no one's really heard from him or his monsters since then. They were invading the village when Anna returned, and a lot of people were badly hurt. They didn't have medical assistance, couldn't get healed easily, and so Anna, who had been, apparently bitten and attacked by werewolves up above, who had always been hassling the town from time to time, usually stealing their children, or killing the adults, but stealing children. She actually went ahead and turned all the injured people, all the injured and dying, into werewolves, and eventually just everybody sort of became to form into a more safely and stable community of werewolves, rather than running wild the way that others did before.
Yeah, well, in which case, I'd say that town and Anna has my respect. That sounds like a very difficult venture, and they seem to be doing well.
Mm-hmm. Then another one laughs and says, "The vodka helps." Like anytime you get a murderous impulse to go out and plunder or attack other people, it's like drink vodka, it mellows you out, and then we trade the vodka with others, and earn supplies from other places.
Yes, well, let's just say the vodka makes a nice change for Grape Smash.
Yes. Well, we only started. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I actually have another question. That gazebo by the pond. Anything special about that? It seems like it's got a past to it.
That is the statue of the Morning Lord. He watches the sun every morning.
Oh, okay. Out of character, would I know who the Morning Lord is?
It seems to be a deity local to Barovia, so I imagine anybody not native to Barovia would not know who the Morning Lord is.
Okay, so a religion check wouldn't really tell me much more.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I'm pretty sure that Morning Lord does not exist outside Barovia.
Okay.
But you may have heard mention of it at other points.
Yeah, I think I heard it mentioned once or twice. Oh. Well, if needs be, it does look to be in some manner of disrepair. Would you like for me to take a look and see if we could get some repairs done to it? I believe one of our members is a craftsman.
Yeah, one of the people, that's been sitting there digging stuff, actually pauses for a minute and says, and turns to the other and says, "You know what? I can't remember the last time anybody even went to that gazebo to repair anything." Another one shrugs.
Well, typically, from my experience, more people will attend a religious icon if it is in some manner, if it is in good repair. Like I said, if you would like someone to look at it, I can take a look at it. See if I can do some maintenance to the gazebo itself, or maybe even the statue.
Well, be our guest then.
I can take a look at it too. I've known to think around.
Fantastic. Well, once we're done here, we'll have some lunch and then we'll take a look at that. Oh, I'm checking with Anna as well. Let's see.
Alright, since those three were out working in the fields, what's the rest of the party doing? And I know RMA is working in the forge, repairing weapons. But what about Drip and Enna?
I would probably be performing in town for like any children or anyone who wants to see anything with the raven and the monkey.
Well, nobody here seems to have any money, since there basically seem to be a community.
I'm not doing it for that.
Okay, cool.
They let us have a free place to sleep, so I'm going to perform for them.
Excellent. I just want to make sure that that your character is aware of that. That they're not. Yeah. So yeah, eventually these various children kind of like wander up and sit down watching you, as the monkey kind of like stays on your shoulder but dances. The raven mostly stays hidden in your hair, though. It seems to like settle down on on the back of your neck to hide in your hair. Probably feels a bit itchy back there, but you perform anyway. You can roll a performance check. Let's see how well your performance is enjoyed.
So I would probably be like trying to convince Loki to actually get out of the hair and do something, because he did agree earlier to perform with me.
She just seems like she doesn't like it here and is hiding.
Okay, I can't fight you with that then.
Unless you have some way of tempting her out, like something interesting for her to eat or something like that. So the children do definitely seem charmed. The occasional adult wandering by, though, seems a bit busy with the daily tasks. Like they pause for like a moment, kind of nod their heads to you, and then kind of wander off again with whatever they're doing.
Keeps the kids out of mischief.
So Quentin, you here?
Yeah, he's probably in the library looking for some eldritch shit.
There's no real library.
Oh, then he's putting some graffiti up, and then he's gonna chill in the water pool. Just fuck work.
Okay, so you're heading over to that pool while everybody else is in the fields or doing regular work. All right. So as you touch the water, it just feels very cool and clean. It feels special, as if there's something interesting about it.
Ooh, yeah. I'll dive down. I'll dive in it, and I'll look around because I can swim and I can breathe on the water. Because cool shit. So I'll just do that. I'll out for magic shit because I can.
Yeah. It seems like the entire pool itself is magical, and as you dive down into it, it's like you're seeing the world reflected above you in a clear darkness instead of broad day, instead of a misty day. Looking back up, you can see 2 moons in the sky, which is normal for it's Ollaras, so Ollaras has 2 moons. 2 moons up in the sky, the typical red one and the typical blue-green one. Just clear as day, and you guys haven't seen that in a while here in Barovia. It's been misty even at night. So now you're just like staring up at a pristine sky at night instead of misty at day through the water.
Pretty dope. I'll make a mental note. The dope skyline here looks cool. I'll guess I'm just gonna chill here, and then like when I have a feeling like, oh, it's been some hours, I'll come out, and I'll go look for them. Unless
at this point, when you arrive back, like you see the normal skyline. As soon as you poke your head back up out of the water, like the normal midday sun, that sort of stuff. But not barely visible sun through the mist and such. And you probably would see like Green and Kurt and Biddy heading back to that gate to the gate to the north, back south here to next to the pool where you're at.
I'll get out and I'll go talk to them. As a wet boy.
As Green sees him come out of the water, he's just like, Drib, I was wondering where you'd gone to.
Enjoy your trip.
How long have you been waiting to say that one, Kurt?
I just thought of it, actually.
Oh, okay then. Well, We're actually on our way to go and get some lunch before we take a look. Me and Kurt take a look at that statue over there. Fancy joining us?
Sure, I do need to get me a bottle of that vodka though.
Yeah. Well, Green starts making his way back towards Anna's house to see if we can go find Anna.
You find her working on some leathers outside the house. Like, some tanning what looks like deer hide. She looks up and smiles a little bit at you.
Hello. We were just briefly coming back, because I wanted to quickly check in and see if you'd found out anything about that alchemist yet. Obviously, I know it's only been a few hours, but I was just curious.
It seems to me that our alchemist of old is now the current distiller of vodka.
Ah.
Oh,
Well, Rib, looks like we found your source of vodka then.
Yeah.
Anna appears out of nowhere going, vodka?
So that's where you'd gotten to. I was wondering where you were.
I am gonna awaken mind the boss lady, and I say she has a cool pond, and I'll watch her reaction closely, I guess.
Oh, the pond to the north.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Speaking of that pond,
Supposedly, she says it's supposedly there's a natural spring underneath there that constantly feeds it, and it says that long ago Saint Markovia herself blessed the waters.
Oh, it's certainly blessed by some force.
Go ahead, Tom. What were you saying?
Well, I was just simply saying. Speaking of that pond, once I've collected my weapons from Galdar, if he's finished doing some maintenance on them, me and Kurt were actually going to take a look at that statue to the Morning Lord by the pond, see if we could do some maintenance on the gazebo.
Oh yes, that thing. I don't think anybody's touched it in many years.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Yes, it does look like it is falling. It looks like it was about to fall apart at any moment.
Do you perhaps have any tools we could use for providing a bit of maintenance to the gazebo?
Well,
What happened to vodka?
We can do that. We can get the vodka before or after we've looked at the gazebo.
Before?
Before.
so she says, the forge most likely has tools that could be used in this task.
Well, I'll go and pick them up from there. Green turns and starts making his way to the forge. Thank you very much for the information.
yeah, I'll go with him.
We're off to get the vodka, the vodka, the vodka. We're off to get the vodka.
Well, you seem in chipper spirits, considering the night you had.
Well, kiddos enjoyed the show.
Keeping the kids out of mischief, I see.
Well, if I can't stay out of mischief, I might as well keep others out of mischief.
How altruistic of you! And Green gives you just a friendly thump on the back for that one.
I tripped Green.
Okay,
roll dex checks, guys. If you're gonna
Can I?
7 Green. Okay.
Okay.
Green falls flat on his face.
How altruistic of you! And I keep walking.
Piccolo jumps down on the Green's back and just kind of starts digging through through Green's hair as if grooming him.
Drip is laughing out loud.
Yeah, Green is laughing out loud as well. He picks himself up. He says, "I kind of walked into that one." He reaches down and he
literally
walked into it. Yes.
Piccolo climbs up on the Green's shoulder and kind of sits there for now.
Yeah, Green just pets Piccolo as he walks.
Piccolo churs.
I will do so. He just keeps he's kind of chuckling just every so often to himself with like a really nice, genuine smile on his face as he walks to the blacksmith.
Yeah, I imagine Gilder is still there.
Yeah, still working away.
Galdar. So yeah, you see Galdar the dwarf still working on the forge.
Ah, Galdar, how's Trix?
Going well, going well. Got you a fine little sword here. Sharpened it and got some nicks out of it, so you should be good to go. I was working on some tools the townsfolk have left by.
Thank you very much. Green picks up his sword, takes a couple of practice swings with it, testing it. Good work. Thank you. Sheaves it. Speaking of tools, we're actually going to look at the gazebo in town and fixing it up after we deal with area of business concerning the town's local alchemist. Do you know what the tools are here?
There's plenty of hammers, and I've seen some boxes of nails laying around.
Well, Green looks around, collects them if he finds them. Doesn't take too much, just enough to do some, a little bit of light maintenance to it.
I've done what I can here for now, so I'll come along with if you don't mind.
Of course, you're always welcome to, friend.
The more the merrier.
Mm-hmm. And I believe we're now going to head over to the alchemist, right? Well, the place, the distillery, rather.
Yeah, the distillery is actually fairly close by to both the pool and the north gate. It is set up right over here.
Ah, cool.
So you got several people in there, like lugging in boxes of potatoes. It looks like the place used to at one point was a normal normal little cabin, but now it's been expanded somewhat. It's got a couple more chimneys in there to let the air, to let the various fumes out and whatnot, and to accommodate for the distillery itself.
Probably smell the fermenting potatoes as we walk up.
Oh yeah,
potatoes.
Yeah.
Stick them in a stew.
So yeah, there's just the rich smell of fermenting potato in the air.
Well, Green walks up, and is the door kind of like a shop door? Just open it up and go inside, or does it need a knock?
It looks like kind of a shop door type.
Okay, Green opens up and walks inside then.
There's some people here and there stirring vats, setting up the distillery, the equipment that needs to distill it, to put the mush and whatnot. I only vaguely know how vodka is made, so don't quote me on this.
No, it's fine. I don't know how vodka's made at all.
But I have vague knowledge based on watching Elton Brown do stuff. So.
It's true.
So there's probably some vats in there where all this potato mush is fermenting and being stirred, and then it's being put into the actual distilling vats themselves. Once that part's ready, once the mush has been properly prepared. So you see some various people wandering around working on that. One person's working on some of the piping, repairing it, making sure it's still working good. Somebody else is just cutting up and mashing some of the potatoes.
Okay.
And
is there anyone here who looks kind of like they're doing or someone who looks like a front of house person?
Doesn't seem to be anybody front of house because it's more like everybody. It's one of those everybody works instead of some person working and then other people doing overseeing type of work. So instead, you have one of the people that was busy stirring some stuff actually looks up and sees you and waves you over and says, "Ah, can we help you with something?"
Ah, yes.
Hopefully.
We are guests to Lady Anna, who invited us into her home, and we were told that we could find the town's local alchemist here. We have need for some things that they could create for us.
And vodka.
Yeah.
And vodka, yes.
Well, you're in luck. We just bottled up a fresh batch, and we'd be honored to share some with you. To see what you think.
Ooh, yes, please.
Good.
Thank you.
So, as the people who wish to try the vodka are shown off into the next room, the person you're talking to cleans off their hands and says, "So, what do you wish with the alchemist for?"
We are actually currently looking for, healing potions and things like that, as we actually plan on venturing into the monastery to perhaps deal with this town's little monster problem for you. So we wish to be adequately prepared.
Yes, well, we need many weapons for that. Even we do not go up there anymore.
Well, I and my friends here, we have grown reasonably adept at killing monsters, so we should be able to at least put a dent in them for you.
We did that for a while before our boss got killed.
Yes, quite.
Anyway.
But yes, if there is anything that you could provide, or perhaps are capable of creating the materials for, we can go out and acquire those materials if needs be.
Well, I imagine that you will need some more of a... he mentions the name of some kind of berry that I have no idea what to call it. And then mentions some kind of root. Again, I have no idea what to call it, so I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say, this and this, and these are the sort of things needed to make potions with it, as far as I'm aware. And the alchemist, she should be able to assist you further after they're retrieved. For the last couple of years, nobody here in the village has actually needed anything of the sort, so...
Of course.
It is a fading art.
Yes. Well, if you could point me in the direction of the alchemist, we can perhaps any other specific items she may need for other parts of her craft, as well as creating these potions.
All right. He points off to a woman who is currently arranging some of the tubing for the distillery. Says, well, she was our town alchemist, or herbalist actually, before we didn't need one anymore.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure my friends will gladly enjoying your vodka.
Hopefully they stay out of trouble long enough for us to clear a bit.
Yes. Yeah, Green goes over and approaches the woman.
She smiles and finishes arranging one of the pipes and says, "Ah, so you're the ones looking for an alchemist."
Yes,
Yep,
quite.
we are.
To your colleague over there, we are acquiring. We are preparing for a venture into the monastery up on the hill to perhaps put a dent in your monster problem.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, Kurt.
Well, they haven't traveled us in a few years. They could always come back at any point. So yes.
Yes. Specifically, we were looking for health potions and the like, and we were told that you were in need of some materials, along with the materials for these potions. Are there any other specifics you may need for other potions you could create?
She thinks for a moment. Well, healing potions were once upon a time my specialty. But if you have another potion in mind, perhaps I might know how to whip it up as well.
Nothing springs to mind right now. What about you, Kurt?
I assume Biddy's.
Excuse me.
What was that, Kurt? You cut off there.
Oh, I was just wondering where Biddy was.
I thought he was having the vodka with Enna.
Oh.
That was Drip.
Biddy doesn't like.
Oh, okay, that was Drip. So what's Biddy doing?
Just following Green, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So Biddy's probably right there behind Green.
I asked Biddy, I'm like, is there any potions you think of that we might need?
I mean, any really health potions I can think of.
Well, we'll be acquiring plenty of materials for those. There is one other potion that might prove to be useful. It's highly situational, but we may need it. Potion. Maybe?
Can you repeat that? You cut off. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. A potion of spider climb, maybe? One that would enable some of our party to climb up a wall if needs be.
Spider climb. She thinks for a minute. That might take a few days. And some spider web, of course.
Of course. I'm sure there are some spiders out in the forest we could
Probably
appropriate the homes of.
Yes, well, to get enough of the webbing, you will need the silk gland of a giant spider.
Yep.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too difficult to take down one of those.
No, but finding that bastard is going to be a challenge.
Yes, quite. Well, we shall have to hope our luck holds. Well, thank you very much for the advice. We'll go and look into that for you.
You're most welcome. And by the way, Enna and Drip, please roll a Constitution save since you guys are drinking vodka at the moment.
Oh boy.
I'm doing good.
Drip is fine. It is like the water he's made out of. Enna, on the other hand, you're a bit tipsy at the moment, which means that any combat rolls you make within the next hour are going to be a disadvantage.
Can I take a bottle home with me?
Let's see. Roll a persuasion check.
I also want to take a bottle home.
Same deal. Persuasion check.
Can I sweeten the deal by giving them a bucket of ice?
They're not sure what they're going to use a bucket of ice for.
You know, making cocktails. You know, it's hard to get ice.
All I need is fucking orange juice.
Yeah, some good ass cocktails.
Yeah, and where are they going to find oranges in this part of the world?
All right, some apples or potato juice. You know, those great
They do have
potato.
potato juice. It's called vodka.
Doesn't matter. I roll a 1. So I roll 2 natural ones, and then the one time it really matters, I roll a natural 1. God damn it!
You're sober.
2 natural 20s and then a natural 1.
You're sober, completely sober, but Anna is drunk off her ass and makes a more convincing argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, they let River take home a bottle because she seems to be enjoying herself.
Yes. I don't tell anyone else I have the bottle.
I call racism.
Okay, Jesus. Oh boy.
Wait, what did
Racist against half elementals, huh?
And gnomes, apparently.
Technically speaking, I'm kind of half genie.
Okay, half genie then.
Come now, Drib. No need to be such a wet blanket about it.
Well, I ask if I can buy a bottle from
All right.
before we leave.
As we're walking out of the shop.
Well, it's not a shop. It's a distillery. But Gilder, you can roll a persuasion check as well. As you ask them that. They confer for a moment and say, 5 silvers to provide to the town, and we'll give you one of the fresh bottles.
I'm pretty sure we left all our silver at the gate, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, not silvers. Sorry, they said 50 copper, or half a gold. Sorry, my brain fuzzed on that one for a second. I just was thinking of price and suddenly remembered. Oh yeah, you left the silver outside. Of course you did.
Oh, I'll buy.
It's okay, Chris.
Yeah, I'll buy a couple bottles.
Yeah, how
We're
many
giving
coppers is a gold piece?
100.
And I buy 2 more bottles, so I have 3 bottles now.
Oh, also once we're out of the shop, it's mysteriously start raining around me, drenching green, and gnome.
That was out of character, man. That was out of character. What the fuck?
People stop and marvel for a moment at the weird display of water right above the watery-looking man. You start seeing them whisper to each other.
Green
I
just kind of
don't
looks.
ever think
Looks
a
up.
genuine question. So I don't know why I'm involved in it.
No, he just feels attacked and he's like, fuck, let's make it rain because I'm already a wet person.
Feel attacked for no discernible reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Look-
Kurt just ignores it.
he's weird. Let him be.
Hey, side note, is there a brothel in this town?
No.
Oh God.
Damn.
Oh God.
I'll tell you this right now. Back in the city that I came from, brothels everywhere.
So when we're done, we are heading over to your hometown.
You know, that's probably not a bad idea because I'm out of work now. So.
All right, Kurt, we'll go visit your place.
Well, yeah, true, because your patron died. Well, actually, but then again, the guys that are paying you, that we're gonna pay him, are still paying you. So
our leader is dead. Our very much alive. There is a difference.
For now.
So.
now, speaking of which, at this point, as you guys exit and the rain is kind of falling around Drip, you see Aki kind of come up towards you guys.
Ah,
So-
He
Aki.
nods his head. I have discussed things with Anna, and she has agreed to keep an eye on David for me while we attempt to visit this monastery. Since you
good.
guys are inclined to go there.
Well,
Yep.
we plan to go there at some point in perhaps the next day or so. We're actually going to be heading out to collect some materials for health potions and whatnot in a second.
Oh, good. To get out of this place for a bit would be nice.
Yes. Well, I need to go and collect my equipment, so...
I'll stay here and keep an eye on Eva.
We're going to the doodad.
Oh yeah, the gazebo. Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah. We're gonna repair the gazebo first.
Yeah. Green goes over to the gazebo. Why not? Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
So are all of you following Green, or are you guys going your separate ways at this point?
I'm
Uh,
following Green.
I mean, Drip is going, but he's just gonna hang out in the cool pool again because he liked like the cool moon thing. He was like, yeah, that looks dope.
Alright.
Green goes up to the gazebo and he takes a look. Right, what appears to be the extent of the damage.
It just appears to be old and falling apart. You see bits of wood collapse on the ground.
So some wood needs replacing. Have some of the tiles need reshilling, and the statue itself could use a bit of maintenance.
Yeah, it looks like the statue is very old.
Okay. What would I need to attempt some maintenance?
What sort of skills do you have?
I have. Considering this is a religious shrine, religion could potentially work.
Yeah, that's true. You can at least, even though you don't recognize the deity being displayed, you do at least recognize that it is a religious shrine.
Yeah, it's a religious shrine, and I can, know what needs to be done to, get it back to proper working order. So, yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Can I
take
help
that
with my
10.
Tinker's kit?
Wouldn't it be like some sort of intelligence as well to work on making sure like everything gets put together correctly?
Well, I think
Yeah,
that
I was-
religion is based off intelligence.
Doc could help him with that too.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if investigation would help too.
That also works. Investigating the extent of the damage, like getting a closer look at it, that kind of thing. And I've already made my roll, so.
Can I do something with my Tinker's kit?
Sure.
Can I roll
Ooh.
investigation?
If I remember correctly, that's
What are you investigating?
security check.
What it would take to repair the thing?
Like
Okay.
back to its full level, or
I got
Well,
it. Nine.
Galdar, I'm sorry. Sorry. Investigation is more of a checking around the area, whereas this would be more of an
never
intelligence
mind.
sort of check.
oh, okay.
So Green and Kurt. Kurt, it looks we had a long rest, so you should be healed up by now.
Oh. Okay. I'll fix it.
Yeah. So you're looking at it. Does look like a religious statue. Can't really tell what it is of exactly. Just probably a local god is the most likely
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know who the Morning Lord is exactly, but a religious statue, and I know kind of the things to do just to make it like kind of fix it up and make sure it's at least somewhat presentable and physically and just like appealing for people to just come over and actually do some praying to.
Yeah.
I presume Galdar is helping me with that as well, with that 17 there.
Yep.
Yeah. So you sorry. It looks like you could definitely use some paint on that statue in there. And it looks like it may have sunk in a bit into the gazebo itself, because you can't exactly see the feet or the base, the base of it. It looks like it has sunk in a bit into the gazebo's floor.
So we need to find some wood to repair the gazebo's floor and lift the statue out, put the wood there, and then put the statue back down.
Considering the way that the gazebo's crumbling around it, it probably use a lot of wood.
I've got a block and tackled, and I can help lift up that statue.
Yeah. How big and heavy is the statue?
It looks like it's probably. Let's see. There's a commentary on here somewhere about that. Let me check. Yeah, it looks like it's probably probably about. Well, actually, if it's made of wood, it's probably about 100 pounds, maybe 50 to 100 pounds, somewhere in there. I'm terrible at estimating.
So it's going to be pretty easy to lift then, by myself, or maybe with some help from Geldar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what we can do is we could take the statue out of the gazebo, put it next to the gazebo while we repair the wood and whatnot, and then bring it back in after some maintenance has also been done to the statue, like putting a lick of paint on it and whatnot.
That sounds good. So what do you guys decide to do?
Well, Green goes over and he attempts to move the statue.
All right. Give me 1 second.
That'll be... Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, God, what have I done?
Green, I trusted you.
Oh,
Good job, Green.
Well, excuse me. How the fuck
What are we
was
fighting?
I supposed to know? Oh God, what are we fighting?
So you stepped onto the mostly crumbly gazebo, and while the first couple steps is definitely wood creaking, yeah.
For fuck's sake! Walk into a fucking mimic gazebo. Of course I fucking do.
Green.
Oh, thank God.
The first couple steps are definitely wood. It's definitely was a full gazebo at one point, but it looks like at some time a mimic has taken up residence inside of it, and you just stepped on it. Your feet are starting to stick. Forget what you use for that. Dexterity check, maybe. See if you can pull your feet back out.
I think we're getting out of the strength check. It's a strength saving throw, I think.
Maybe.
Guys, have fun over there. I'm liking it here in the water. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have fun over there, Drib.
Yeah, well, Drip, I was paying attention to what you guys said in terms of who was where, so...
Yeah. I literally walked into this one.
Yep. It's all you.
Oh, God!
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
It's the size of a fucking gazebo. Of course it is.
I'm happy I'm way over here. I'm pretty sure that thing Thompson.
I'm fine where I am, too.
Yeah, you guys have fun over there, assholes.
So I take a
Usually
second
do.
to look at the vodka that I brought with me and consider my life choices, what illusion or not.
How the fuck was I?
Please don't start.
I'm supposed to know that's a gazebo.
Please don't start arsoning.
Well,
These
see,
are
somebody
not
brought it up the other day, and it's like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to have a gazebo that turns out to be a mimic. And then I was like, wait a second, my party
Not at one point or
my
another.
party isn't freaking Kresik at the moment. There's a gazebo in Kresik.
So you just say, hey, yeah, why not? It's real fucking mimicking everyone. Great. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God!
So, been nice knowing you guys.
You ain't die, Green. Don't worry about it. You'll live.
Yeah, I'll live. I've got 39 hit points. I should be fine. Should. Touch
Does
wood.
39 damage.
Yeah, if it does 39 damage in the first hit, I'm gonna be so fucking upset. Ow. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, it's not
Goes,
bad.
as some of the bits of the rotted plank turn into teeth, while other rotted planks that are actually rotted planks fall away. The statue appears to be an actual statue that the mimic had surrounded, which is why it looked like it was sinking into the floor.
Anglerfish!
Yeah, exactly. Anna,
So I'm not grappled right now, right? Just making sure.
your feet are stuck to the mimic, so you're kind of grappled. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're only grappled by your feet, not your body. So that means you can still swing at stuff and whatnot.
Mhm.
You're not
Oh,
obstructed that way. You just can't. You just currently can't move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, walking wise, you can't walk anywhere. Anna.
Okay, so here's a question. If I was to cast, like, fly on Green, could he detach himself from the mimic and move?
If he can make the roll to detach himself, he can. But he can if he wasn't. Fly won't assist him on that in that.
So what does he have to roll to be able to detach?
I've got to make a strength saving throw, I believe.
Oh, and you have to do that on your turn?
Yeah, on my turn.
You got this. You can do it. Harness your inner Rob Schneider.
Let's leave Rob Schneider out of this.
80s and 90s movies.
Dissonant Whispers.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. So what, does it like take double damage or something from that now?
No, but it's like it seems to be very angry. And it's many eyes that are basically at the top of where the gazebo was, but you see more of the wood kind of falling down, are now focused on Enna, and it looks like if it has the possibility of touching her, it will.
No, because it must immediately use a reaction to move as far away from me as its speed allows.
It can't move. It's attached to the gazebo.
Oh. Okay then.
It's a gazebo.
That's why it said it's angry at you because it wants to run away from you, but it can't because it can't move.
Okay.
If it could, it'd be giving you the finger right now.
Yeah, because it's currently still adhered to the. Basically, it's like a giant barnacle instead of instead of a crab or anything like that. It's more like a barnacle. It kind of attached itself to this gazebo and kind of blended in with it. So. What do you do? Do you do anything else, Anna?
What was that, an action? So for my reaction...
Bonus action.
Bonus action, I'm going to give a Bardic Inspiration to Green.
Yay!
Nice.
Because he needs that to get the hell out of the mimic's mouth.
He really does.
Biddy!
Alright, well, I'm not getting close to that thing, so I'm going to go here and just shoot at it with my light crossbow.
Alright. The bolt kind of lodges into the side of the creature, and it lets out another yowl. This time more eyes flicking towards Biddy. But again, it really can't move. It's kind of part of this. Green!
Okay, gonna make that strength saving throw, see if I can get out.
You can do it.
16?
Yeah, I think that's it. Double check on... yeah. So even without using Bardic Inspiration, you kind of just roll your way out of there and can jump back down. Your feet just attach.
So does that count as my action, or can I still attack?
You still have a bonus action.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to I'm gonna activate Second Wind. Not Second Wind. Fuck. Actually, yeah. No, Second Wind. That's what I'm gonna do. I want those hit points back.
That's your bonus action.
That takes me up to full, and yeah, no, I'm gonna use my movement to get here, so I'm flanking it.
Alright. Drip, drip, drop.
I'm gonna swim a bit closer, pop my head out of the water.
See that the gazebo's shattering apart, and there's a creature inside of it. It looks like it was camouflaged inside the gazebo itself.
Yeah, I'll read, and I'll give a Bardic Inspiration to Gildar. So you have a D4 now. No, D6.
Hooray for multiple bars.
Alright. Galdar, what do you do?
Am I melee range with it?
Yes, you are.
And I will do inflict wounds.
Let's see. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure it didn't have adhesive still on there. Nope. You had to touch it with your touch spell. So roll an escape check.
Strength.
It's ability checks to make this escape grapple have escape grapples have disadvantage. Oops. Oh well, Green already got out. Sorry. So yeah, roll strength saving throw. It was supposed to be a disadvantage, but I forgot with Green. Sorry about that.
You don't
Yeah, you're fine. You managed to pull to yank your hand back. Oh no, wait, that's never mind. I forgot with Green anyway. Kurt, go ahead.
Is there anywhere I can? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna attack with my short sword.
You have advantage because we're flanking now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. Just. Swing. Yep.
And that
Well
hits
hit.
it. Yeah, it's a large creature actually has low AC. And I think my cat's hair is getting into my keyboard. I can't hit the dice the keys that I want.
Is there a place on the mimic I can punch without getting my hands stuck?
No.
Oh. I don't think my bonus action applies to weapon, so just that will be it for.
The mimic. Let's see. So, because for Kurt's last one that heard it, the mimic goes for Kurt.
Bring it on. That does not hit.
Alright. So it launched out a pseudopod at you. Hold on a second.
Not this shit.
And launches a second pseudopod out at Galdar. I think that misses as well.
Yeah, that misses.
Anna!
Let me think for a real quick second. So, 10 foot is... Okay, so if I cast Shatter with 10-foot radius, like right... Oh, now I can't click it. Like right here. It would miss Green and Kurt, but still hit the Mimic, right?
Let's find out.
I would do it one up.
Yeah, it would still hit Green and Kurt.
Okay, but if I put it like right here, would it?
Yeah, it looks like it would hit.
Okay, then that's what I'm going to do.
Alright. Ooh. There's a loud boom as the shatter goes off. And pretty much the rest of the wood of the actual gazebo sprinkles away from the giant mimic, falling raining to the ground under the force of that shatter.
So then it's not an object form anymore, right?
It sort of is. It's still shaped like a gazebo, but there was an actual gazebo there at one point, and the mimic kind of came in and took into its form, and
I believe it technically attached itself to the statue, right? And the statue just happened to be in the gazebo.
yeah, it's kind of like part of it's attached to the statue, and the gazebo was there already, and so it kind of used the gazebo as a shell. But it formed itself into the best of the gazebo, basically mimicking the gazebo itself. But there was actually a gazebo there at one point. There was just some extra wood left behind that the mimic didn't consume. That made it basically look as if the gazebo was still standing there.
So that is it for my turn.
Alright. Biddy.
What to do? I'm gonna come up right next to green. On my way to there, I'll drop my crossbow. I don't need, and draw my rapier and my rapier and short sword, and stab the mimic with.
Alright.
And
It's looking quite ragged now from all the attacks. It does not look at all happy. Not that a gazebo-looking mimic would ever look happy. Except maybe when it was chomping on green.
Yeah, funny that. Also, speaking of that, I would like for you all to know that I told my girlfriend about this, and she is currently roasting me for the fact I just did that.
So you never step into a gazebo in a D&D game because you never know what's going to
How
happen?
the fuck was I supposed to know it's a gazebo? It's a gazebo by a pond in a quaint little countryside village. How the fuck was I supposed to know
Ruled by a vampire.
that? The village
In
is
a
not
village of werewolves.
The werewolves are nice enough. So, quite frankly, fuck you. I thought you guys might appreciate that.
really appreciated it.
Vampires, so.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, first, as a bonus action, actually, no, he's not going to do that as a bonus action. Don't really see any need to. Green's going to take a swing and hit with his longsword. And I'm going to use that bardic inspiration.
Alright, any bit of bardic inspiration in there will pump it up enough to damage it.
Okay, so what, even if I rolled a 1 on there, or?
Yep, even a 1.
Okay, I just won't bother rolling for it then. But yeah, and then I'm going to add...
Should be at advantage anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Set that to advantage. Yeah, then I'm going to add distracting attack to it. So I get to add a D8 to it. And its next attack against it from someone who's going to be at an advantage. D8. That is a total of 11 damage.
Alrighty, ow.
Ooh, I get advantage.
I'm guessing that unless you guys all fail your rolls, it's probably not going to get another turn. Drip, drip, drop.
Hey, Eldritch Blast with advantage. Ooh, I crit. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Jesus, man.
It's my third
Wow.
crit tonight.
Man.
Followed by min-max.
It wasn't the best crit though. 1 in 10. Really?
I mean, it's the minimum and the maximum, so it's not that bad.
Geldar. Huh. And I've actually got a pretty good crowd on Steam, on Twitch tonight. 8 people in the room. One of them's actually talking, so.
Hello, stream. And like that.
Hi, pencil art guy.
So, what are
I
you
just
gonna
want
do,
to smash it
Galdar?
with my hammer.
Oh, you have destroyed the gazebo, leaving behind only shatters of wood and two halves of a statue that have now collapsed to the ground, revealing a large pit underneath, where there are some bones that apparently the mimic could not digest.
How deep
I'm
is
And
the
gonna
pit?
search that pit.
yeah,
No, before he searches the pit, I would need to know how deep is the pit.
it's about 5 feet deep.
It's
about 10 feet
fine.
wide.
Well,
I was
rope off and jump down in the pit.
Yay!
Green uses the rope to climb down as well.
Yeah, I would rather have a look at it. The green, you don't die.
Is there anything cool in there?
There is a faint glow of magic under there.
Cool. I'll look for it.
I'm searching the page. Who's rolling search?
I'll roll search.
Yeah,
will
I'll roll
too.
search as well.
Pretty sure.
So, Anna, roll a 1d100.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's with advantage. Sorry.
God damn it.
Do you want me to re-roll that, or shall I just keep it? Keep the.
We'll just keep it for a moment. But Anna, okay, Anna rolled a 29.
Sorry, dog's trying to get in my lap, and he's too big.
The
that.
green, you would
That
have
is-
done that.
As you look through the bones, and while the other three are looking around, and Drip is looking over towards you because he's sensing magic, you find a strange lantern with a black candle that's still burning a green flame in it. This is
Oh,
clearly where the magic is coming from.
You know, I can take a look at that.
What do I know about it?
You know that it's some kind of gothic trinket, an everlasting black candle, possibly used for some kind of religious occultish type ceremony at some point.
I mean, it doesn't really fit your whole style. It's more of my style, you know?
What are you talking about? This would be great in the performance we're doing. No, this is mine. Thanks.
It starts raining again.
The candle does not go out. And one thing, it's sealed inside of a lantern. The other thing is the candle is always burn.
It's still raining.
But yeah, you guys are all getting drenched. Your companion is a little bit testy.
Green climbs out of the pit. If there's nothing else of worth in there.
Yeah,
No,
can't
just looks
find
like
anything
a few
else.
bones.
Actually, no, that's a question. Is the statue in there?
The statue's kind of fallen to the side. There's two halves of it now.
So the
And
statue's gonna
there's a
need
bunch
some-
of wood. Yeah. From the
Okay, so
actual gazebo that the mimic overtook.
Yeah, so it's not in the pit. It's just the side of the pit.
Yes, it's the side of the pit.
Okay, Green climbs up and he goes to look at it and take a look at the extent of the damage.
So I go over to Green and I go, so does this mean we build a new gazebo?
I'm not sure. We'll have to speak to Anna about it. Tell if it's a statue. Though, it's probably for the best considering that thing was in it.
Yeah, and if nobody ever visits the gazebo, do they really want the statue back?
No, the statue I think is fine. It's to their local god. I think the gazebo is I think the gazebo was the real problem. Either way, what's the extent of the damage on the statue?
From your knowledge of building and repair, you figure it'll probably take a couple of hours, towards the evening, to repair the statue.
Well, in which case, Galdar, do you reckon you could help me carry the remains of the statue to the forge, please?
Yeah, let's go. We just take it back to town and set it up somewhere in town.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, Green picks up one half of the statue. He tries to pick up the other half as well, and then as a group we carry it back to the forge.
Alright.
Yeah, it's getting. I take it it's getting on to evening now.
No, it's still the afternoon. It said it'll take you it'll take you until evening to fix that statue.
Okay.
So that's a few
Well,
hours away.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we can. I need to go and speak to Lady Anna about this. She's probably going to
Yeah.
want to know that there was a mimic in town.
He's dead
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Go to her house.
You do get a few odd looks as you carry back the statue, and Anna is still out there, working on some leathers. And she looks up as you guys approach and go, "Did the statue break as you were trying to repair it?"
No manner of
Buddy.
Oh. How about now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. Well, we went to investigate the gazebo. Turns out a mimic had taken it as its own. It's dead now.
Her eyebrows kind of wing up and go, "A mimic? Really?"
Yes, I got a little bit too close to comfort for it, but it's dead now. Very much so, very much dead. And we were hoping to repair the statue, but I figured before we did that, we should come and inform you as to the situation. The gazebo is unfortunately pretty much destroyed in its entirety.
Well, I suppose if it's really a mimic.
Well, no, it appears more that the gazebo was a gazebo, very much so. It's just a mimic attached itself to the gazebo. It's gazebo. Might explain why not many people went near to it.
And if you're missing a few people, that may be where they're at. There's a lot of bones there.
Well, over many years prior to recently, people had always gone missing every once in a while, from the things outside in the woods to the abbey. Maybe this mimic is also to blame for those missing people from years back.
Well, if you would like, as well as repairing the statue, I can perhaps ensure that the remains of these potentially missing people can be buried properly.
Yes, that would be quite nice.
Very well. We'll set about repairing the statue first. Is there anywhere in particular you would like it placed?
Thanks for it. Perhaps it would look best here, as long as it is still facing the rising sun.
No, that can be done easily. We'll probably be able to repaired by evening time.
She nods. Perhaps you will be joining us for evening meal?
Oh, if there is a seat at the table, then gladly. Thank you.
And when you guys were fighting the mimic, I realized I'd forgotten to pull the NPC out. I was just kind of busy with the mimic. Oh well.
I think Aki was just kind of standing there, just face palming it. Just what the fuck?
Yeah, actually, that does sound about right. Or he was like, "Okay, these guys got it. I don't have to get involved." But yeah.
It's like shit. It's Pine Valley all over again.
Either way, Green heads back to the statue. If anyone wants to help him repair the statue, then they're welcome to come.
Yeah, I'll help.
Aki will help you too.
Action.
Yeah.
I'll give Green the help action.
Yeah, basically, since it only lasted 2 rounds, you probably just didn't have enough time to get involved, to run up to you guys and get involved.
Yeah, by the time he got there, it was already. Yeah, it's just like, oh well, okay then. Yeah, Green doesn't try and rush fixing this thing. He takes his time with it and tries to make sure he gets everything okay. And with the help of Kurt and Aki.
Yep.
Would you still like me to roll for this, or is it not needed?
It's not needed since you got multiple people helping you.
Mm-hmm. See if I can fish up some paint from somewhere to at least give it just a plain coat of white, just make it look nice. Chip off some of the old stuff.
Yeah, every once in a while, some people walk by and check out what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And once it's repaired, Green picks it up, takes it to the place where Anna pointed out, and I point it so it faces the rising sun, which I believe would be east.
Yes.
Yeah. Point it so it's facing eastward.
You see people like heading back from the field at this point, and they're all heading out to the various houses. The Anna has since gone back into her home, and you can definitely smell something cooking.
Mm. Well, if no one else has any other business, Green's going to head inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, David's already there. He's actually been assisting a bit. He's not much of a cook, but he's one of those type of people that if you tell him what to do, he can take direction and learn from it because he's that sort. And now he comes in to assist as well.
Green pitches in to help if anything needs doing.
And soon the table has bread and bits of meat. This time more roasted than stewed. Some more potatoes, of course, and there's a carafe of vodka on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once like Overfood, he basically just says the statue has been repaired and is now exactly where she asked for it to go.
She is quite pleased with your progress and says, "You've so far becoming an asset to our little town here. Thank you."
Well, you are probably some of the first people in Barovia to show us some genuine form of kindness. So, figured it would only be right that we repaid it.
You're the first people that haven't threatened to try and have us killed in some shape or form.
Or try to manipulate us in some way into forming their own agenda.
Yep.
She shrugs. When you come to a world filled with monsters, then that which is traditionally a monster might not be after all.
Yes, quite. After all, people who are what many would consider "quote unquote" normal can be monsters as well. It's all a matter of perspective, really. Right. Regardless, tomorrow I believe we're going to be looking for those potion ingredients. Yes.
Probably.
Aki nods. Definitely.
Yes, they'll be of much use in the monastery. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been in the monastery.
Yes, let's just hope we can effect change in the monastery enough to where it returns to its proper use. It irks me somewhat to know that such a place has been desecrated.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
Indeed. Either way, Green just finishes up his food, and if it's getting kind of towards late evening, he turns in for the night.
Aki stays up and helps with the cleanup and the creation of stew parts that will slow cook until morning, to be served as breakfast.
Oh, I want stew now, damn it.
Well, I kind of imagine in a place like this, in the same technology, that's probably where a lot of breakfast comes from. It's really the stewed ingredients from the night before, just kind of left to sit near the fire. Yeah,
breads, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Very hearty, practical food for people working the fields.
Exactly.
Kurt will do whatever dishes are left. If it.
Probably
move a chair over.
You could probably use drip, drip, drop for that. He's a source of water, after all.
That's true, but is he willing to help?
That is the question.
I mean, I can magically clean plates with presentation, just clean now, clean now, clean now. So it's not like it's that big of a hassle. Sure, I'll help.
Fair enough.
Alright. So after a while, the dishes get done. People settle down to sleep. The stew is slowly cooking on the hearth fire, which will keep the place warm, since it is kind of cold, a bit colder in this region. And once again, you settle down into a more pleasant sleep. And during the night, you hear the occasional howl of wolves, but nothing else interrupts your sleep. No otherworldly dreams, just whatever your conscience is holding on to. So now at least one of you says they're having nightmares regardless. So in the morning, just as the day before, you find that Anna, your hostess, is ladling out the stew into bowls in order to get you guys nicely fed.
Yep. Same thing as he did the previous day. Green gets up, helps set the table. That kind
You are clearly endearing yourself to the village leader, which is good because that might actually persuade her to letting you carry your silver in here,
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
or at least the silver ring that Kurt asked for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after the sun becomes more clear in the sky, you can definitely hear people walking past outside, heading to the fields or heading out to do some hunting.
Mm-hmm. Well, Green just kind of waits, cleans up after breakfast and whatnot. Just wait and get ready so that we can go and collect those ingredients.
All right. Do any of you have any objections to this?
Nope.
I'll come along. Who knows what an
I'll come along.
would be in the forest.
Anyone else? Geldar, Biddy, you guys coming along?
Yeah, guess.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's probably best that our entire group goes in.
Never
Yeah.
split the party.
Yeah. In case something stupid happens, like the fucking mimic that graced us with his presence.
Anyway, so you guys strike out into the nearby woods, being allowed to leave the gate. Your box of silver items is still sitting there at front. It hasn't been moved, hasn't been changed.
Green didn't put anything of worth aside from the money in there, so he just kind of leaves it for the moment.
Kurt grabs his ring.
So, start rolling survival checks. Each of you roll a survival check for me.
Go ahead.
I get lost.
Aki comes
Who
over.
has me attached by one of those like kid leashes?
Aki's going to be coming over and turning you back towards the party, Anna.
Okay.
You see a particularly fluffy looking squirrel.
And the raven, you named Loki, kind of untangles herself from your hair and goes flying around above your heads. Meanwhile, Arame, you find a patch of those berries that you were told to look for. And Green, you find the plants that are associated with those roots you've been told to find.
Mm-hmm. Well, Green pulls out his dagger, begins to, dig aside the dirt, and pull out the roots and cut them off and put them in a little bag.
Now pick some berries.
Alright, so as you are digging up the roots, you find what appears to be an old grave.
Oh, okay. I examine the grave.
I'll help with that.
Do you dig
You
up
need
the
to make a
grave, or you
religion
just
check?
examine the outside of it?
I'm examining the outside of it right now.
I'll stay a good like 20 feet away from it, and I'll take a look at it. Is it cool? By that I mean magical.
You don't sense anything magical.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Green just takes a look at the headstone and whatnot. Do I need to roll
Well,
religion
no,
for
there's
this?
there's no headstone. It's just that you found what appears to be a grave that you were digging into when you were cleaning up the roots. It's an old grave, no headstone left.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Like, what kind of grave does it look like? Does it just look like a hastily made one, or?
It looks like one that's been there for some time, like many years at this point. That maybe somebody was just buried, or maybe the graveyard was moved at some point and it has been since grown over.
Okay.
Derp is gonna try to open it.
All right, so you go down there and start pushing the dirt away. And
you get a wary look from Green as you do
Yeah.
this, but he doesn't.
And you discover a coffin down below. The wood is still fairly intact. There's some kind of symbol on the front of the coffin that you can see.
Do we recognize the symbol, or can we roll for it?
Yes.
That would be what? Religion, history, arcana.
History.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you want me to re-roll that with my religion check, or?
Sure.
When?
Nah. Okay. No,
So-
I don't recognize it.
So, Cave, as you look it over, you can see that this seems to be an earlier version of whatever the various standards you've seen around in Barovia itself, like the a tabard or symbol of Barovia proper.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing you got. Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it. It looks like something from before Strahd took over.
Well, this must be old then.
Yeah.
I'll continue to break open the coffin.
Okay.
Oh
or
my
open
god.
the coffin.
Inside, you discover a skeletal remains of a human, clad in rusted chainmail, and laying next to a rusted longsword and a frayed bow.
Hey, Galdar, you think you can fix the sword up if decide to use it?
Doesn't look cool, right? And by that I mean magical. Probably not.
No
He
magic.
walks off. He walks off.
How damaged is the weaponry?
It's corroded, it's old and rusty.
It looks like something you'd find in a museum, basically.
Yeah, it's probably not worth fixing up.
Well, then
Fair enough.
let's rebury this old fellow. Yeah, Green just kind of sets about kind of setting back the remains of the coffin lid back in place and kind of just neatly putting the dirt back over, and also
Any other identifying marks inside or outside?
No, it looks like everything else is rotted and decayed in here.
Then one of the things Green also goes and does, he basically finds a couple of like sturdy bits of wood that have just like fallen from a tree and whatnot. Basically, just makes a makeshift headstone, and then says just the same brief funeral prayer he said a few times before.
Praying to his father.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Then when he's done, he collects up the rest of the roots he was collecting, and then it's around. Right. Is there anything else we wanted to look for? I believe there were those spider parts we needed as well.
Yeah. She did say it would take several days to fix up a potion of spider lime. And you would need the intact web gland, the spinner gland of a giant spider.
Well, maybe it might be useful later down the line, perhaps not necessarily in the monastery.
That's true.
So we could all in favor of going to look for these spiders?
Yeah, let's go kill some spiders.
Why not?
Okay. Green pockets the roots, draws his sword, and then goes looking for some.
Alright, so you guys are going to be hunting spiders. Let's see how long it takes you to find any.
Good idea.
So each of you roll me a investigation check.
Survival.
Nature
Investigation.
I got an 8.
Investigation, right?
Yes.
I'll take that 13.
So,
RMA and Rick did well, though. Goodness me.
so after about an hour, Anna is actually the one that spots the first telltale signs of a spider webbing up in the trees.
I believe Anna is still...
No, I just got back.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's the one that rolled.
Okay.
Send the monkey to gather spider webs.
The monkey will probably try eating the goddamn spider webs. And besides, it's not the webs we
Spider
miss.
might try to eat the monkey.
Can
So,
I reach and grab some spider webs?
so I'm gonna say, hey Green, you better hold on to your boots.
Oh, God.
Levitation!
No, Joy! No, Green doesn't even try to resist it.
You're just like, oh Jesus.
He's just like, "Ah!" It's more because he wasn't expecting you to fucking levitate him. He's used to
I
flying.
said hold on to your boots.
Mm. Either
He
way,
probably doesn't understand that expression.
Yeah, he did live kind of a sheltered life for a while.
just, cloistered. There's a difference. However slight.
Sheltered, cloistered, tomato.
Exactly. Anyway. Yeah, he guess since he can now float, he floats up and begins to collect some web. Balling it up into little balls that he wraps up in cloth or whatever.
Are you trying to be careful about that, or are you just grabbing?
I'm trying to be careful, yeah.
Alright, roll dexterity.
Specifically dexterity, right?
Yes, dexterity.
14.
Alright. So far you seem fine. Roll a
Okay.
perception check. Roll a perception check.
Perception, you say? 24.
So you can see sort of some movement about 100 feet away in the treetops. So it looks like it might be a large spider from your position.
Okay. No, he stops moving. But Green does say, we think we might have incoming. 100 feet. 100 feet points in the direction of the things. Seems to be in the treetops. Do you want me to agitate and see if we can draw it over?
No.
Might be the giant spider we need to kill.
What? Why kill? Why do we need to kill it?
We need a
Because
plan.
we need the web gland from in the spider. If we want the potion of spider climb.
Can't we find a dead one?
I'm pretty sure that runs the risk of the gland not necessarily being intact. If we kill it, there's probably going to be more of a chance of it being intact. Because we can guess where the gland is.
And spiders eat their dead.
Want me to agitate it and draw the spider over? Well, the potential spider. Might be something else. We don't know.
Throw a rock at it.
If Green looks down at me, I have this really pained look in my face, like, I know we should probably get the spell, but I don't want to kill Fluffy.
Okay. Green kind of floats down, picks up a couple of stones as I come in about Geldar. Floats a little bit back, so he's not right next to the tree when it happens.
I take a step back.
And he just begins, just chucking stones into the web.
Alright.
I love how you're all just stepping back. Letting me get jumped by the fucking monster again. Asshole.
You told me never to ever again.
Yes, but Actually, no, I didn't say that. Regardless, he just begins chucking stones. Tree. Oh God.
So this is basically the tree line, and any going into the tree, that means you're up in the air, which is where green is.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show off where you guys are standing.
The moment he begins to hear like some kind of like intense rustling movement, he goes back down to ground level. Or like he just drops, basically. That's the point. How far up am I?
20 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm floating like a good 10 or so feet away from the tree trunks. Just stones.
Alright, objects and tokens. Sorry, the cat hair seems to be getting everywhere, including into my mouse, so it's making it hard to move it. It keeps sticking. So the first spider descends onto the ground, and the fight commences.
Awesome.
And yes, pencil art guy, hunting huge spiders is fun. At least for me it is.
This is the first time we're hunting them and not the other way around.
Yeah. This is actually probably our first hunt, to be honest. First time we actually hunted something.
Yep.
And what's just gonna go horribly wrong?
Well, they seem to be rolling well for them. Everyone make a roll?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just took me a second.
I always seem to roll incredibly low for initiative. I've never rolled high.
So, Anna gets to go first.
Well, it's your characteristic. You're just not the faster when combat begins.
Yeah, typically because
Give me a second.
Alright, it's been
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Fairy Fire. And I'm gonna cast it to where it gets these two and then goes over and then down and then back. So it gets red, green, and blue.
Alright.
you sound like a green.
I'm learning.
Yeah, that one's fine. What else do you do, Anna? Anna?
Does anyone want some inspiration this round, or you'll want to hold off on that? Because I've only got one left.
You had a long rest. You have all of them back.
I did, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we can keep him for 10 minutes. So if you give him us now or next turn, it doesn't really matter.
We'll still keep us through the entire fight.
And Anna, you're not dead. Why is your health 0?
I don't know.
It's probably something to do with what's on your spread on your character sheet. So who are you giving break inspiration to?
To green.
Alright.
Yay!
Gonna need it.
Yeah, fucking Jesus.
So yeah, the
That's
spider
like
goes.
all of the spiders just decide that they're feeling like idiot and having some greens in their diet.
So the spider climbs all the way over to here and is gazing down at the group of you. Kurt! Just remember, these guys are up in a tree, so you can't actually hit them unless you try climbing that tree.
I'm gonna do no such thing. Do I see Red over here?
Yeah, Red's actually the only one on the ground at the moment.
I'm gonna move here. I'm going to throw a throwing knife.
Alright.
Open up.
Difficulties with your character sheet?
Throwing knife.
Huh, we're up to 10 people on the stream now. Cool. Usually don't get any.
Then
Yay!
So I usually don't even bother mentioning that there's that there's people watching. But yeah.
so
Oh, I did get a
go
couple more,
ahead and,
more subscribers on YouTube, so that's cool.
Oh, cool.
as a bonus action, I'm going to do an additional 1d4 piercing damage.
You feeling okay, Kev?
Yeah, this cough has been fucking me up. Ugh.
So you said you got additional damage?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm gonna do an additional 1d4. So additional 4
Nice,
points
4
of damage.
damage. Nice.
So the throwing knife goes and hits it somewhere like in the abdomen or something. Obviously pissing it off.
Yeah. So the spider climbs down there. And then move another 15 feet. And moves there. So blue is now also on the ground. Aki. Aki looks over at the spider above you guys. And, hold on one second. Trying to look to see if one of his spells can hit that thing or not. That's a touch action, darn it. Nope, he doesn't have any spells that can reach it from there. So he is going to race across the battlefield and do battle with the spider. Down 14 damage. Swipe. The spider comes down here. Descending from the tree. And also scuttles along the ground towards our heroes. Drip, drip, drop. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hex green, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it, and I have advantage because Fairy Fire.
Yep.
What do you mean hex? What?
Hex action spell.
Okay.
Hex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Great
spell
spider.
the spell goes
Oh.
wild. Goes wild, missing the spider completely.
It has disadvantage on strength checks. That's my turn, and I'll move a bit away because I don't want to die. But
Biddy.
Good idea.
Um. I like cross. I can't be bothered not getting combat, so I'm gonna come up next to blue and stab her with my rapier and shorts.
Miss. Hit. And you kill it.
Everything okay with your mic over there, Cave?
Yeah, we can't make you out at all now, Cave. You're just noise. It's hurting our ears. Ah!
Ow.
Ow.
It sounds like a lot of wind.
Yeah.
I'm muted for the moment. Let me know if Cave's thing is fixed. Gildor! What do you do?
Gonna try to just smash one there.
Alright. And that blow misses. You basically just
As a
you bring it
bonus
down to
action,
go ahead.
I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon.
Alright.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, spiritual weapon. So what damage does the spiritual weapon do?
Hang on, gotta get my sheet brought back up.
Alright. And that misses as well. And the blade is now under your control. Giant spider scuttles over here and starts taking swipes at Galdar.
Yes.
Green!
Okay, I'm still levitating, right?
Yep, you're still levitating, which means you can easily
Okay.
get up there and strike out at green. green,
Yeah,
green.
yeah. We're gonna have to make a distinction between green and green spider. Thank you, because that got very confusing. Because when Drip said he's gonna hex green, I was just like, wait, what the fuck? What did I do? What the fuck, asshole? Okay. Green's gonna float over to the green spider, and he's gonna take a swing at it with his longsword. Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
Cool. In which case, I'm gonna add an extra D8 to that with distracting attack. That's an extra 6 damage on top of that, so
Nice.
16 damage in total.
Anna, your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shatter, and I am casting it right here. Well, I can't.
Hold on, I'm not sure you can actually reach that far.
It's 60 feet.
Okay, yeah, I was making sure because it's also up in the air.
Okay. But I was going to shoot it right behind him, so that way the 10-foot radius would miss.
Yeah.
How human.
Well, I mean, technically Asimar green, but still.
And it basically disintegrates the spider. The spider's guts just kind of splatter everywhere, rendering the ability to find a particular sac in it intact impossible.
Good
Well,
I'm just going to laugh at the fact that I know all of that viscous just landed all over Green while he was up there. I'm going to literally spin the rest of my turn sitting on the ground laughing.
Yes, it did. The spider basically shattered and exploded onto Green. He's now completely covered in spider
Yeah,
guts.
he's just kind of looking down at himself, just like, and then he just turns and looks at it, and it's just like, seriously? The fuck?
I'm just laughing. I'm like,
Kurt. The monkey is laughing with her.
You said kill it. You didn't say intact.
Good point.
But killing it intact was sort of implied by the fact that we needed.
Oh, don't
But
worry,
see,
we've still
these
got.
little details matter to Inna.
Don't worry, we've still got 3 more chances to get these web glands.
Gnome fist. Awesome.
I cast first.
Huh? Looks badly damaged. And the spider is dead. Means you've only got 1 living spider left. Oh, whoops, I forgot. I came on mute. 1 second.
I guess you could say the gnome was bugging him.
There we go.
Yeah, damn
Sorry,
right.
sorry, Cave. I had you on mute for when your microphone was broken. I forgot to unmute you. There you go.
Oh, right. That's fair. Yeah, this gnome came out of left field, punched the shit out of the spider, killing it with its bare fist.
Aki kind of nods to you and says, "Good job, Kurt." And he gets over that body there and goes right for the other spider.
Keep me around for a reason.
And then that spider goes for Aki. And doesn't get through his armor. Drip, drip, drop.
I'll bonus action move Hex to roll Eldritch Blast him, or try to. Yay, plus 1d6.
1.
1 point of damage.
4 points of damage.
Yeah, because that's a lot more.
I was 1 off
Count.
crit. God damn it.
Well, time to hopefully finish it off with my
Gangbang the spider.
double attack, that, and my sneak attack.
Jesus, man.
Oh yeah, it's dead. You basically pulverized the thing.
The joys of being a fighter rogue.
And you managed to basically completely cover your weapons in gore, which then drip onto your arms. Unfortunately, it looks like in the process of massacring the spider, you destroyed the vital gland that you needed from that one, leaving only 2 intact corpses.
This is why I use my fist, gentlemen.
At least I tried to attack.
You know, the fact that you killed it is pretty cool, so I'll give you that.
Now, if
I'm a gnome, I
it's-
killed this thing with my bare hand.
Now, if it's alright, Anna, could you let me down, please?
I forgot
You
there
just
was a tree.
dropped it. Wait, isn't that a concentration spell? Wouldn't he have fallen some time ago because she cast Fairy Fire?
Wait,
Now that
can
I
you
think
only
of
have
it.
1 concentration spell at a time?
Wasn't that one cast from the mandolin though?
Oh yeah, it was.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna look that up and say that if it's not supposed to work that way, that somehow you got some sort of bonus that allowed 2 concentration spells to go on at once, but it won't necessarily happen in the future. There.
Okay, I can accept that.
That works. Either way, Green kind of gets himself as low to the ground as possible and drops him so he doesn't fall and land straight on his ass.
I don't know why you didn't put yourself on the ground. I mean, you can go up or down 20 feet.
Good point. Green does that.
I mean, I'm just gonna stare at him like, why are you blaming me for your ineptitude?
Ineptitude? Well, okay then.
Because sometimes it's easier to blame others for your shortcomings.
That's why I trust my pets.
That's why when most things happen around me, I just blame it on other people for being taller than.
Yeah, they just don't get your point of view, do they?
Nope.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for validating that joke.
Either way, so who wants to take a crack at trying to get this venom gland?
It's the web gland. Although you could also try to harvest the venom glands while you're here.
Actually, yeah, no, that'd be useful.
What kind of check would it be to harvest these?
Survival.
Survival.
I've,
I'm +5.
I have.
I'll try it on the
medicine,
one that I
so-
killed.
Yeah, because I don't want to destroy it on accident.
I'll give you guidance if while you're doing it.
I'd love.
Green has a bardic inspiration, so
Oh.
he could use it.
Yeah, I have guidance and inspiration from Anna. I don't know
Okay.
how you can fail this. Please don't.
Yeah,
I have
just
a.
go.
I have a +3 to my survival.
Yeah, Green
I've got
gives it,
+5.
since he's got
Yeah, let
I got
go and
21.
do that.
Alright.
Yeah, no, okay, no, I'm definitely using that bardic inspiration.
1d6. It's like a cave immediately digs through the corpse and it comes out with an intact gland. Where would you like to store?
I'm swimming through this corpse.
Where would you like to store? Where would you like to store that gland?
I'm gonna take a cloth out and, or no, I should have a. Oh, I have an empty glass bottle. I'll just put the gland in the bottle.
The bottle is too narrow to fit the gland in.
Damn it.
How much? You're 13. I think you have 2 guidance. That's 15.
I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap it up in a cloth.
Yeah, I got
Put it in my bag.
Alright.
14 in total.
Didn't you also get the inspiration from Anna
I did
earlier?
too.
Aki kind of looks over at Kurt and says, "This is a reason to buy burlap sacks, isn't it?
Yeah. I should have thought of that before we left.
Perhaps we should
Oh, well.
invest."
We should.
And Green,
So-
meanwhile, you're harvesting the gland, but you're taking your time. It's basically trying to stick in there, and you're kind of like getting ichor and gore all over yourself as you manage to dislodge it.
Oh,
That's true. You already have that on you. No, Kurt, actually, not so much. Considering how neatly you managed to extract and sever that gland.
Green, it just looks like Green. It just looks like he's just jumped face first into a puddle full of the stuff.
Green
Yeah,
looks like he's been
that's-
having a rough
It
day.
looks like he just crawled out of a corpse on Hoth.
Don't worry, Green. I'll use prestidigitation
Thank you.
I was just
To
gonna
make
say
it-
hose him
to
off.
make to make the liquid on your body the same temperature as your body. Not to clean you.
Green just
Is that
sighs.
sure? I'm not sure how you should feel about that.
There, Green.
Picks
There,
up the
there.
venom gland. He ensures that it's wrapped up in a bit of cloth, just securely.
The web gland, correct?
The web gland, thank you. Sorry.
I was to say, if you extracted
Oh,
the
venom
venom
gland's not
gland,
coming handy too.
if you're extracting the venom gland with that roll, you would have to be rolling Constitution at this point to see if you take poison damage.
No, I definitely got the web gland. It was a Freudian slip.
Okay.
And
Oh yes, in
And-
fact, that's what Randy has to roll because he was trying to extract the venom gland and he got some on him. Thankfully, he manages to be immune. He's a dwarf.
And
He's
I'm
good for it.
resistant anyway as a dwarf.
Yeah,
ooh, talking.
exactly. So it's like your Constitution throw on top of the resistance. That means no damage whatsoever from the poison. It's just kind of
I should
There.
probably try and get some venom gland from the other side then. If Randy
go
left.
for it. He was extracting one. Kurt was extracting one web. So
That's a survival check.
Unless you have a poisoner's kit. Or
I have vision.
they're small enough to wrap up in cloth, and Aki was already suggesting that we should have brought some burlap sacks with us. And the same deal with you, Biddy. You kind of slip, and some of the poison gets on you as you pull the gland out. So
I've got it.
roll Constitution. Ugh, poisoned.
God damn it.
don't worry about the glands. I'll have my servant carry them for it.
Okay, so
So-
he's poisoned, right?
All right, so ignore the piercing damage, the damage from this, and you already failed the Constitution save. So just take the damage amount.
Ow.
Oh.
Oof.
Ow.
18 points of damage.
Okay. I'm still
Um,
fine, actually. That wasn't too much.
Okay, so
I have a lot of
does he have the poisoned condition or?
Yes, he's currently got the poison
Disadvantage
condition.
to everything.
Yay,
Okay,
that's even that's worse.
No, he doesn't.
Thank
Green
you.
just sees this happening, walks over, just lays his hand
Oh.
on his
That's
shoulder
right.
and uses the lesser restoration spell.
Thank you, Green.
Forgot-
Yeah, so
That's right. That's a thing we can do.
now, if we have everything we need, I want to go back to town, and I would like to take a bath.
Oh, you
Yeah.
Drip could hose you down.
wait. You want the shower?
Not
Shower, shower, shower.
Green.
Green just turns around and he just starts fucking walking away. Just
And then
fuck
out of
this
nowhere, a high pressure spray of water hits you in the back. You fall in your face.
I love the fact that we have a portable shower with us.
You have a portable fire hose.
Technically
as
got
far as I'm
two because I can create destroy water too.
I love the fact that we have a boys and girls personal shower with us.
Anyway, so it's in the late afternoon by the time you arrive back at the gates of Krezek.
Green collects all the ingredients from everyone as we're walking because he's going to go into the alchemist and drop those.
Kurt, do you relinquish the ring back in the box?
Yeah.
Alright. So the alchemist is quite pleased to see you and is, very happy that you're bringing her to Spider Glen. She says it'll still take a few days for me to finish the Spider Glen potion, but if I leave these, and she points at the other materials, going overnight, we should have some healing potions for you in the morning.
Wonderful. I'll be by to pick them up in the morning. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Do we owe you anything for the process of making it, or are the ingredients enough?
No, you brought me everything I need. Just the ingredients. I've already got all the equipment.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much for your help.
I'm sure you're glad to be practicing your craft again. So long.
Alright, so what do you guys do now?
Well, first things first, Green is going to go and see if he can find somewhere to get his clothes clean. Covered in spider gunk.
I'm gonna go look for a pet store.
I'm gonna ask if
There aren't any stores here.
Pond.
And
Like,
Drip did not see anyone. He was in there.
there's no stores?
Go back outside.
Drip is gonna go have
Look
a pool
outside.
party again.
Go outside.
Why isn't this letting me copy from something? So I was trying to copy and paste something from my Twitch chat thingy, and it's not letting me for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's an update. But Pencil Art Guy writes, "Hey Greystrap, have you or any of your teammates had a moment where you said this is gonna suck?"
Yes, it
Yes.
involved a rock and a cart.
Yes.
Yeah,
A rock, a cart, and then it involved a door and a dragon.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So,
then
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much every single day we play this
Also-
game.
when we were in the mansion and Anna started the fire, we were also like, "Oh, this is gonna go well."
The slogan of this game is now, and everything got
Shit.
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to throw rocks anymore.
And then there was a moment in the
That-
same mansion where one of our characters opened a door to what was pretty much a necromancer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That part was, this is gonna suck.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know.
was doing that.
Or the time we found that spike pit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
When you found a body in it, yeah.
yeah.
That wasn't very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. What was his last? What were Fawn's last words again?
Oh,
That's
did
See
it?
you later,
fine.
suckers.
I think it was more like as he was falling to his death.
That was still very funny. He was running away in a panic, and he trips into a spike trap.
Anyway.
Or
Green
that
goes
time when they
and
tried to
finds some
escape
clothes.
a burning building with Green, and we were both technically unconscious.
Yeah, I had to drag y'all asses out.
No, I dragged Green out and jumped
Oh,
out.
you're thinking of. Oh, I was thinking of the death house because that was also
No.
on fire.
No, but hey, at least I paid you back for that by dragging your body out of that building.
Yes, we're even now. Anyway.
Oh,
Anyway.
a quick question. What kind of magic was on the water of the pool? Because it's kind of important.
It's kind of a what was it? A healing magic.
Alright.
It's actually a pool that does lesser restoration.
Alright.
But there's also some kind of like if you're actually in the pool like diving in, there's also an illusion of sorts that's visible.
Yeah. He likes that. He likes the cool ass skyline.
So could we take water from it and put it in a vial and drink it?
Yeah, but the effects would actually fade away within a day.
It might be nice to take him to the monastery with us.
Maybe so.
How many more vials do you guys have?
None.
Well, I'm staying here at the
Well, we
alchemist for a few minutes because I'm going to try to get her help to extract some poison from this venom plant.
And what? I'm gonna fill up my water sack with that water because water isn't really a problem of mine.
Alright. Okay, so Anna performance, Galdar, the alchemist requests your aid in mortal and pestle, crushing up the berries, chopping up the roots and whatnot. And as soon as she has that stuff bubbling for the health potions, she will assist you in extracting the poison if you're willing to do that for her.
Oh yeah, I can help with that.
Alright.
Yeah, Biddy also needs
I got a +7 to medicine.
plan that he got to extract it, so he'll help.
So the two of you are now helping the alchemist, and she will help you in return. So that's your evening. Anna's evening is playing music for children as it starts to get dark. Drip, drip, drop, what are you doing?
I don't know. Go to the place where I can get drunk and try to get drunk.
Probably the same place as Anna. Alright.
Yeah.
Then that leaves Green and Kurt. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna wander around town, just kind of hanging out, smoking my pipe.
Yeah, Green's gonna go and he's gonna find a quick quiet place, change into his traveler's clothes or a spare set of clothes basically, and have the clothes in his robe that he typically wears washed if he can, or find some place to wash them himself. Covered in spider gunk.
Yeah, basically Anna shows you to where you can easily do some of your laundry, like a bucket, full of water, some scrubbing materials, and a line to hang it on overnight.
And I thank her for that. I do that, yeah.
And Kurt, what'd you say you're doing?
I'm just wandering around town.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't learn too much in the wander that you don't already know.
Being friendly. They've never seen a gnome before. Trying to, show them that we're not, shifty little thing that they can't be trusted.
Yeah, you do discover, though, that while the limited contact that the townsfolk have with the abbey is the occasional shipment, the once a month shipment of vodka up the hill. It basically seems to keep anything from coming down and attacking them as long as they keep providing the vodka. Although, of course, they are unhappy with this. So they are entirely happy to allow, a band of travelers to come in and deliver this month's vodka. Which evidently the Anna hasn't actually mentioned to you yet. It's just something that she was keeping to herself. But the townsfolk seem to be convinced that you've already been asked.
What?
Interesting. Apparently, they're going to be doing a shipment up to the.
Kurt, who are you telling this to?
Oh, I thought I was telling her. Well, when I get back, I'll tell Green.
Alright, you find Green doing his laundry.
How's it going?
Everything okay?
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna have apparently, they deliver vodka to the Abbey every so often. That helps prevent them from attacking.
Interesting.
So they're gonna be having another shipment here. That could be a good time to go up there and investigate.
Yeah. Did they say when exactly?
Did they?
They think it's probably going to be tomorrow or the next day.
I think it's gonna be tomorrow or the next.
Oh, well, if it's tomorrow, then that sounds fair enough.
We can grab our potions and skedaddle.
While I'm here helping her, can I possibly take notes and see how to create these healing potions?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd love to take notes.
Roll intelligence checks on both of you.
Intelligence or medicine or
Intelligence. Biddy, you seem to have learned the proper formula for doing the potion. Galdar, unfortunately, while she's working on the stuff, you just kind of miss a step somewhere, and you can't figure out where you lost it.
I accidentally opened the bottle of the vodka, apparently. Started drinking it.
I'm sorry, what was that? Don't open it and drink it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright. So, the evening has come. She's helping you guys with gather up some samples of venom. How many bottles do you have for that?
I have like 2 or 3.
No, the only ones that are there right now, Kurt, are Galdar and Biddy. You're over with Green. It's a completely different area.
Right.
Huh. Think about that.
So yeah, I empty one of the vodka bottles so we can put whatever's in there. Then I can put it into smaller vials.
All right. So pretty much the 2 venom sacks would fill up would fit into that. The contents of the 2 venom sacks would fit into that vodka bottle.
Glad you have something to put them in because I don't.
I'll see if she's got some extra vials we can maybe buy off of her or something.
She says that unfortunately the extra vials she has, to use are all going to be going for the health potion. She might be able to give you one, but that would sacrifice getting more health potion.
Don't worry about it then.
That's okay. We can find some somewhere else.
Yeah.
A little glass bottle shouldn't be too hard to find somewhere.
All right. So, do you just head back to Anna's place as it gets to the evening, or do you stay out somewhere?
Yeah, Green heads back after he finishes washing clothes.
Yep.
Biddy will probably just wander around for a bit longer, probably 2 hours more, and then head back.
Anyone else? So it seems like your evening meals have become predictable. Some meat, some bread, some potatoes. Yay, bird! You gotta love Enna's songs. Ugh. So Enna and Drip are the only ones that haven't come back to the dinner table.
I don't know. I think we're. I actually have no idea of where we are, but I assume we're close to the dinner table. I don't know.
Well, I think you're out in the square entertaining the kids. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I'm inside drinking, and I failed my Constitution save, so I am plastered shit-faced singing
Okay.
bard songs to drip, drip, drop.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys are inside Anna's house. All right.
And I'm faking out with a fake glass of vodka. Well, she's thinking it's a real glass. It's just an illusion, which is fun.
And I failed my perception, so, like, I'm drinking it thinking it's real vodka.
The rest of you guys can see this now, that Anna's got some sort of illusion going on, and she's singing, and, Drip Drip Drop is kind of watching her and doing stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And Biddy, of course, as soon as you come back to the house after the couple hours, you hear that Anna is still singing about your brothers, or cousins, or whatever they are.
I guess I'm gonna go back out again. Cheers. I'm gonna go wandering into town again. Bye.
It's now the dead of night.
I would
All right,
do that for you.
When it's the dead of night, I'll go back.
So, Anna, how about you actually sing for us instead of just typing?
See, the typing actually makes it semi-possible I can make this kind of rhyme, because I am not poetic at all.
Alright.
But I can try to give you a tune if you sadly want that.
Yeah, for the people on stream who can't read your writing from here, it might be too small for them. So, fancy them with a song.
Let me tell you the story of the Windstar boys. They all had high hopes, but yet they were toys. They all went for treasure and found out that they were not very stout. The first Windstar was not even seen by this bard entertaining thee. He died in a pit trap, and what's up with that? That's all I've got so far.
That was great, let me tell you.
But dude, that was excellent for a small first attempt. That was awesome. Nobody's seen the second verse about what happened to Adler, who traveled with
I
you.
don't remember what happened. Was he eaten?
He's engulfed. Remember, he traveled. You knew Adler more since you were traveling with him in ferry.
Yeah, Adler was one of your companion, and then got killed by the garbage monster.
Shambling Mound.
Yep. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
Good times.
I was so happy to be playing a good character for once too. But no, one really good character in the family died straight away.
Yeah, so we call that the Windstar curse. People watching.
Yeah, and then I think the week after that, 2 other people died.
No, it was 2 weeks later, and then it was Ortovi and Omen.
Yeah,
They died because of the fire.
Yeah, we have had a lot of deaths.
Yeah, and only one resurrection. That was because of the weekend game. Sorry, because of the holiday game I threw.
Yeah, that was fun.
But anyway,
Wasn't there like a week where over the course of all the games?
Yes, that same week with those two dying in the fire, I lost 4 other characters. Six PCs dead in 1 week, and over the course of 3 games. 2 of which belong to the same players.
Yep.
Either way, if dinner's been made and had, Green climbs up and he goes to bed.
Yeah, and it's probably still singing, but at this point, unintelligibly, because of the vodka consumption.
At this point, Green is too tired and done with the world to care.
Second Winstar was a decent guy. He seemed to have high hopes for the buy. He went into a basement and fought a trash dude. Then he was caught and consumed. So began the curse of Winstar.
And then it ended after that, because Biddy's still alive.
Yes, but then Biddy okay. So that night, even though he's an elf and doesn't dream, he has the image of himself hanging once again.
I don't dream though, so.
No, that's my point. You don't sleep, you don't dream, and still, yet while you're meditating, you see the image of yourself hanging, and you
Honestly, it's sort of just.
And you can't snap yourself out of it. All you feel is the sensation of being hanged, as if you're hanging there for eternity.
I've gotten used to it. It's
And while he's sleeping, I leave my noose around his neck.
Which is why he has the sensation all night of being hanged.
Probably because I'm almost am.
And when you finally come out of your trance, you do find a noose around your neck.
And then he can finally hear the last verse that I wrote just for him. So far we have Biddy who keeps fighting me. He keeps a threat against the monkey. His time is short and his rope is too. This time he will die soon.
However, you're wrong.
Aki's just kind of staring at you because he doesn't seem to sleep either and shakes his head.
Oh, good morning, Ak.
So, of course, it's fallen into a routine at this point. Breakfast. Breakfast. Edda's probably fast asleep still, though. Doesn't even wake up for the smell of food. She's probably just passed out on the bed.
Yeah, I'm gone.
The monkey is there grooming her, sitting on her back. The raven is kind of tucked next to her. And meanwhile, Aki and everyone in company are down, in the dining area.
Yeah, Green woke up early to help with breakfast as he usually does, and then after breakfast is eating a while waiting for everyone else to get up, he goes to the alchemist to go and pick up those potions.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll me a 2d4.
2d4.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Excellent. So, the alchemist is in her shop. Actually, in the distillery. It's not really a shop. Lining up potion vials for the minor, whatever the minor potion is, and she puts out a total of 8 of them.
Awesome.
Oh,
Just
fantastic.
small vials of simple healing potions.
Okay, then I'll add that to my inventory and divvy them out.
And she She smiles at you. It's been a while since I made these, but here, they should be in good shape and they should help keep you guys healthy.
Oh,
That's
these
good.
look. This is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. And without even saying, Green just goes in. He just pulls out 2 gold coins and puts them down on the table. As
Well,
thanks for your work.
thank you
As
for
thanks
the
for your work.
thank you for the contribution. We'll put this to good use here in the village.
And we'll
That's
put
good.
these to good use in solving that monster problem of yours.
Hopefully not dying.
Right. Well, after that, I'm assuming when will the spider potions be finished?
In several days. It should be
Okay.
it should be ready to go in several days.
Okay,
I'll
so
let-
come back day after tomorrow.
More like the end of the week.
Okay, fair enough. Take a look then. All right, thank you very much. And then I leave and head back. Yeah, Green just kind of comes in through the door, and everyone is there. And he's just like, "Well, I've got good news. We now have the proud owners of 8 healing potions.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The alchemist certainly came through for us. Figured we could divvy these out to everyone equally.
We'll deal with that here in a little bit. Let's get everything straightened up before we leave first.
I'm gonna go and
To
get
figure out what time when exactly they're gonna send that vodka up.
Okay, I'm going to go and get my robes. And I go to the laundry place and pull my stuff off the line.
It looks like Enna's Raven is currently sitting out there on the line, its head tilted towards you. Ah!
I reach up, back of my head, give it a little scratch behind the ear.
Its eyes close. Her eyes close, and you can see that they're just seem to enjoy the touch. And then she kind of hops off the wire under your shoulder.
Now, what are you telling him, little bird? Anyway, I pull my stuff off the line.
She's probably telling her that Anna can't handle her alcohol.
I've already noticed that.
Not at all, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You're fucking lightweight.
So much for me.
The vodka is just too much for her.
Now
It
this
is
is a
so
question.
good, though.
Now this is an important question, Grace. Can the spell Lesser Restoration stop a person from being drunk?
Or hungover.
I
No.
think I'm going to rule. In this case, it can.
Okay, cool, perfect. Good to know. Anyway, Green heads back after his robes and putting them on, making himself look fit for battle.
So it's at this point that everybody but Enna is ready. Enna is still fast asleep, face down on a pillow, the monkey on her back, grooming at her.
Considering
Let's
that I know for a fact that she's going to be hungover, Green just kind of goes over and just kind of shakes her a little bit to try waking her up. Come on, rise and shine.
What roll is that?
Constitution check.
Anna, don't make me roll an unarmed strike.
Don't worry, guys.
No.
Everything feels very heavy, Enna.
I'll pull some water out of my drinking.
Yes, Trip.
I'll make it extremely cold, just not freezing, just extremely cold, and then just drop it on her face.
Oh!
Yeah, that should wake you up.
Pull some water out of my ass and wake you up that way. Hang on a second.
No, Drip already got her.
Yeah,
What Drip did would have woken her up.
Yeah, once I got hit with the water, I'd probably flail and roll out of bed because it just kind of
The
fell
monkey,
out of it.
The monkey kind of jumps up and down on the bed, and it's now drenched as well, and points at Drip.
Why? Just why?
Because everyone's ready to go adventuring in monster slaying.
All right, you go ahead. I'll stay here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. I'm gonna assume that Anna is quite hungover.
Do you want?
Yeah, I rolled a 2 on my Constitution check while drinking. I'm pretty sure I'm
Green just kind
hungover.
of leans down and just gently pokes a finger against her forehead and casts Lesser Restoration. You're coming adventuring with us.
It'll be fun.
Oh,
We'll have a picnic. and We'll kill
Instant.
some shit.
It's an instant hangover cure.
so I appreciate that, Green. I really do. But I'm still tired as hell. Can I nap on the way?
Well,
Nope,
considering
for
that
walking.
we'll be walking. But tell you what,
Okay.
once we're done, you can have the longest lie-in you want tomorrow.
Okay. Is there food to go?
I
Sure.
believe so.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Aki hands you a sandwich made from last night's bread and meat.
All right. Now, before we go, one final question: who wants healing potions?
Hi?
Hi.
Okay, because I've got 8 of them to divvy out.
One.
I'll take one. I'm good with
I'll do
one.
2.
I can
I
heal
would
myself.
like to.
Okay. Okay. So Drib, you want 1, so that's 7. Kurt, you want 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. 2 to you, so that means we've got 5. We've got 4 left.
Biddy only wants one.
Okay. You get one of that. You get one. Green takes 1, leaving 2 left for Anna, unless Dalgar wants one. Galdar, rather.
I'll pass.
Okay, in which case, Green passes 2 healing potions to Anna.
Thank you.
The monkey climbs back on Anna.
You alright there, Piccolo?
And I take it these are just the regular 2d4 plus 4.
Yeah.
Or 2d, yeah. So, Kurt, did you find out when they're going to be sending that vodka up to the monastery?
What? Yeah.
Let me go ask Anna real quick.
Okay.
So the answer
I'll
is
go find Anna.
Yeah, she's just fixing things up around her home, which you have to be standing in. So she's like right there in the corner.
Oh, but hey, when are they sending that vodka up to the Abbey?
We have enough to send today, she says.
We'll go with the shipment then, if you don't mind us doing that for you.
She stands and thinks for a moment. I'll tell you what. Why don't you bring the shipment this time?
That sounds good.
Fair enough.
No,
We'll do that for you, and we'll see what's going on with the Abbey and try and fix it for you.
Yeah, you get the shipment ready, and we'll meet you wherever you do that.
All right, it should be at the base of the hill, just a bit north of here. The road you take, not the road you take up. Not the path you take up to the farm, but the other one.
Oh, one more thing before we leave.
One more thing.
There is a matter of. I understand that you do not allow silver to be brought into the town, but my friend Kurt here has a silver ring which acts as a holy symbol for his deity. Would you be able to permit us to carry the silver ring through town, perhaps out of sight and out of mind, until we get up to the monastery?
To keep it in your pocket, then.
Pretty much. Keep it in a pocket, away from anyone who could touch it and get hurt.
She lets out a long sigh, but then nods her head. You have been most helpful and been rather polite guests. As I said to you before, if you ruin our trust, we will be ruthless. But as long as you keep to your promise, you will go in peace.
Well,
I can assure you, my lady, I bear no ill will against you. You've been nothing but kind since we got here.
Kurt is a man of his word. I trust him on this.
Besides, my dad get pissed at me if I went back on a promise. He's always watching. Kind of a perv that way.
Either way, thank you. Courtesy, Lady Anna.
And thank you for your assistance around town.
Of course.
No thanks is needed. Just here to
More of a
help.
pleasure, really. Being able to do monotonous tasks. It's been a long time.
And take care of a mimic we hadn't realized was there.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was an added
Hopefully,
bonus.
hopefully the statue appreciate. Hopefully the Morning Lord appreciates the new home for its statue.
Hopefully. I'm sure we'll hear about it eventually.
Yep, quite.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get ready. Let's get ready to go hunt some monsters.
Just like old times.
Isn't it just? Anyway, while Kurt goes and does that, Green goes back to find the cart.
Let me tell you the story of the Windstar boys.
No.
They all had high hopes. Boys. They all went for treasure and found out that they were not very stout.
Green just kind of, as Anna's singing, Green just kind of slides a shot of vodka.
The first
Biddy was
Windstar
down.
not even seen by the board entertaining thee. He died
Biddy
in
would
a
just-
pit trap. What's up with that?
Pretty would just drown the vodka that Green hands him.
It's just a shot.
Sound
Just, you
check.
know, sound check.
It's just like I
I was gonna offer him my pipe, but that worked. Oh,
can't.
Biddy is now drunk and will take and will have disadvantage on attacks
I'll
and
use-
saving throws.
I'll do list restoration on him as well. Alright, get back up, Biddy.
Alright.
No wonder why you don't drink.
Exactly.
The
I can't
second,
hold liquor at all.
the second Windstar was a decent guy. He seemed to have high hopes for the buy. He went into the basement and found a trash dude, and he was caught and consumed. So began the curse of Windstar.
This time I offer him my pipe. You want some of this instead?
Yes, please.
Come on, now, let's go. Let's get heading up to that monastery.
If you smoke his pipe, you'll need another con check.
Oh God, it's full of. God, jeez.
Yeah, but he'll be more used to it. High as shit.
Oh, fucking one. You are high as balls.
Holy shit.
You can see the universe.
Yes, actually, that is the case here, Green. Biddy, you're completely useless. You cannot do any attacks in battle. Even if something attacks your party, all you can do is look at them and go, "Hey, man!"
Oh wow!
Wow.
So
I haven't met anybody
pretty.
met anybody affected like this in a long time.
So far we have Biddy, who
Everything's
keeps
so
on fighting
great.
me. He keeps a threat against the monkey.
Is that a bottom? Is that a rainbow butterfly?
His time is short and his rope is too. His time, he will die soon.
Drip is gonna start talking to Biddy about the great beyond and the great interests and secrets that lie there. Great
Oh yes,
horrors.
that's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure is off to a good start already.
This is gonna be great.
You come up to the cart that's finishing being loaded with vodka bottles.
How long is it gonna be before Biddy, comes down from his high?
Couple hours.
Are we able
Roll
to
a
wait
t-
that long?
Roll a 2d4, Biddy. Roll a 2d4.
Oh no!
I mean, I have a strange idea to wake him up.
It'll be 3 hours before he's capable of anything again.
Can we afford to wait 3 hours until he comes down from his high?
Who wanted to go drinking?
No,
Anna.
we need everyone to be in good order.
What? Fun, why can't I have fun?
Oh wow!
We
Okay, grab Kurt's pipe and I'm gonna take a hit.
Con check. You don't see what Biddy's seeing. You just feel slightly
Can I do a
relaxed.
lesser restoration on him and heal him from the high?
Yes, you can.
Every single use of our lesser restoration has been used before we've even had the first round of fucking combat.
I love how
I'm about to cast silence on her.
I'm done with the song.
We are competent adventurers, everyone watching.
We're suboptimal. We are suboptimal.
We are clearly amazing adventurers.
Absolutely.
Remember the question, this is gonna suck? I think this whole beginning just kind of sums up our
You could
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it can't get any worse, right?
Yeah, come on, let's go get slaughtered.
Yeah, let's go die.
Hmm.
Green just goes up to the cart and just begins pulling it up, unless it's got
Ah.
like a horse or something.
Fuck, I don't have to
There's like a donkey there.
Yeehaw.
He takes the
Meow,
and just starts guiding it up.
Oh, what's the donkey's name?
You have no idea.
No, I asked the
Oh,
driver,
man.
what's the donkey's name?
There's no driver. It's just the donkey's the only thing attached to the cart. There's no driver.
Donkey.
They're
Green's
valid.
holding the
There's
rope, so
donkey wolves.
technically he's the driver.
Kurt's sitting on the
Green,
donkey.
can I name the donkey?
If
No,
you would like
Can't
to.
name the donkey. The donkey might have a name already.
Hey, donkey, do you have a name?
Yeehaw, yeehaw,
Okay, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you have a name?
yeehaw, yeehaw.
Can I?
I get to name the donkey!
I
talking
don't
to
think the
an
donkey can
animal.
understand the concept of yes and no.
Yeah.
Donkey, roll intelligence check to understand the concept of yes and no.
I'll you know what? I'll use Awakened Mind.
Oh God!
Look,
Don't do this to the poor thing.
look. If it can't understand any language, it can understand me. If I do this.
That's fine.
Well, must be able to understand at least one language.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go like. Do
Yeehaw.
you want Anna to give you a name? Do 1 for yes and 2 for no.
Can you understand its thoughts, or do you just talk to it?
Oh, I telepathically say in its mind. I ask it a question. I'm not commanding it because I don't have that power yet. Because I'm like,
Is Anna dead?
No.
No, I set it back to where it's supposed to be. I don't character sheet today.
why do you have only 19 hit points? God,
Because that's all I have!
Rolls.
that's like
You rolled
how.
shitty.
You should start taking.
Remember, that's how that-
rolling for it.
Remember, that's how that fireball managed to kill her in one hit, completely, without it just disintegrated her.
And that might be a stupid thing to say, but maybe you should consider the tough feat.
Yeah, the tough feat is useful. That's what I took.
It's gonna be a while before I can get a feat.
That's right.
Yeah.
You guys already got your feet, and
Yeah.
Like 6th level for that matter.
haven't got that yet.
I mean, me neither. Like, I don't know. Should I get my 2nd level bard? Because I get cool shit at 2nd level bard. And then there's 3rd level bard, which is also pretty cool. So, like, oh, what to
I'm
do?
assuming we're all slowly making our way up the hill as this conversation
Yeah.
goes on.
I might take it rogue eventually.
No, so the donkey
Sneak, bitch.
seems to be confused by Drift's question and doesn't respond at all.
It's just like, dude, what the fuck? Maybe if I ignore him, he'll go away.
Do you like the name Sarah?
I feel like both
Donkey.
Kurt and the donkey look at Anna like, what?
What?
Anna,
Do you like the
Anna,
name Dominic?
Anna, the donkey told me that it already had a name.
Also, Anna, if you're gonna name it something, look between its legs first.
Dominic the donkey, jinkity jink, ee-ah, the Italian Christmas donkey, la da da, dee da dee da da
I
dee
think
da
you lost your
da.
trip.
Because I'm totally singing this as I walk with the donkey.
Why don't I have silence?
I don't know. You
As we approach the gate, Green just turns to Anna. It's just like, Anna, stop singing, please.
But what?
Time to get.
Smoking.
We're getting yes now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time to murder some fools.
The road from the village climbs above the mists to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones, held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtained wall. A belfry protrudes from the roof top to the closer of the north wings, which also sports a chimney billowing grey smoke.
Nothing like the monastery I grew up. I'm assuming we're at the gate now.
Yeah, you're kind of like looking over at the gate. That's what this is between. And you can
I
kind of... Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna shout out vodka delivery.
You hear what sounds like a snort from inside one of the things, and somebody goes, what?
We have the tithe of vodka.
And a weird creature just comes wandering out. Kind of looks like a humanoid cross between a dog and a lizard. Standing on hind legs, it kind of blinks out at you with a bit of a furry / scaly face.
My character.
The fuck is this?
I'm trying to figure out if Kurt might know what a commander is.
I know all about weird shit, so I'm gonna roll.
So, from what you can figure out is that while it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before, or ever even read about, from what you've gathered from down in town is that this is most likely one of the creatures that you've been told about, also known as the mongrel folk. Creations apparently of this prince guy that lives up here.
Prince, huh?
The prince,
Is
yeah.
that where he went when he died? Oh, okay.
No, not at all. The lizard dog thing person kind of blinks and pulls a cloak around itself a bit. Says, "Vodka do not look like those who come usually."
No, we're just visitors. They asked us to come take care of this for them because they're letting us stay in their village.
Yeah. Well, you should roll it up to the gates, to the inner gates then.
Alright.
And it pulls out its cloak some more.
Green begins to lead the donkey through the thing.
Are you alright? But you don't sound too good.
I sound normal.
Oh, that's cool.
Alright. Good luck with that.
So it's like you see bits of what looks like a lizard's muzzle with it scales on one side, and then wolf or dog fur on the other. And you get the impression that, despite the gruff voice, that it might be female. So, you never been here before?
Nope.
Nope.
Why have you come?
Passing through.
Well, I am a monk of a monastery from far away, and when I heard about your abbey, I was inclined to come and have a look for myself.
Oh, that's right. This is an abbey. The figure kind of brings you over towards this gate over here. A 15-foot-high curtain wall joins the abbey's two wings. Behind the battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by fog. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot-tall wooden doors, reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the walls, is a tarnished copper plaque. You can also make out the sound of screeching from somewhere inside that space, like behind those walls. There's something, screeching. The raven that's with Enna basically shivers and just hides back behind her hair again. The monkey just kind of clings to her.
Huh.
So what do you guys do?
Well, so where do you want us to put this vodka? Green says, turning to the guy. Or gal.
Just inside the courtyard should be okay. Don't worry about the screaming. She can't get out.
Who can't get out?
The one screaming.
And who might that be?
That doesn't matter.
What did she do to be screaming?
Oh, she doesn't like the form she has. And as you come in, you see that the source of the screaming is this weird bat spider-looking, vaguely humanoid creature over here that's apparently tied by the neck down to a post in the ground. Let me read the description here. Hold on.
Sorry.
The thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot-high curtain wall on which stand several guards with their backs to you, or so it seemed at first. It's clear now that these guards are merely scarecrows. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging walls, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron ring bolts bolted to them, and the chain to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles and other spider limbs. And this is the source of the horrible screams.
How did you and her come to be here, if you don't mind my asking?
Always been here. The master made us.
Ah, so you are creations.
The figure kind of shrugs. That's what I remember.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Can we meet this creator of yours?
Ah, the prince. Perhaps, if you wish. But the figure kind of like puts out a hand and kind of does one of those side-to-side jobs. If he allows you to visit his domain.
I'm very sorry, but I'm probably gonna have to go because I'm almost falling asleep on my desk.
Yeah, I think this might be a good stopping point, which is why I was trying to avoid getting immediately to the prince. Like that'll be the start of the next chapter.
Fair enough.
See you guys next week.
So I think that went well.
Yeah, that did go well. It was